Oh, that's so calming. I think that sets expectations somewhere I don't need them. But we'll go with it. What's up, everybody? It is a calming citizen today. Oh my... What? Alright, looks like we're having technical difficulties. My stream deck stopped working again. I feel like I'm always past this, and then I start a stream. Like, I was just using my stream deck before the stream started, and I started my stream, and now it's not working. So I'm blaming you guys for apparently my stream deck just never working. Hope you all are having a good week, though, besides me blaming you for stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Oh man, this is really gonna throw me off. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another week. A good week. I'm feeling good this week, folks. We got a lot of cool things planned. I just dropped the 100th episode of... Okay, this is farts. This is just like almost depressing. Can we... Nope, don't like that either. It's kind of chill. Want something a little more fun than that. Nope. Oh my gosh. My music selection is just not where I want it to be right now. What about this? Yeah, I like that. Okay. So, I just dropped 100, episode 100, whatever you call it, of my podcast on the YouTube channel, this very same one, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it. Took a few weeks to do. I kept delaying it. We went through like episode 99.5, 99.75. I just kept going until, you know, it was ready. I pulled a Chris. We pulled a CIG. We said it's done when it's done. Took a couple extra weeks, but it's out. Features 8 different creators having a little talk with me about the priorities of Star Citizen. You know, do they focus on stability? Do they focus on new features, on server meshing, on 4.0? What do they push for? And all of them gave different answers in their own way, and they're all pretty unique to who they are. You watch Star Citizen content, you probably recognize a few of them at least. There's Morphologist, Astropub, Croncy, Tree0311, Nazaris, Jorun, Salty Mike, Space Coder, and I believe that's everybody. Astropub, Astro Historian. And yeah, it's a good watch. Go check it out. I will be posting up all of the interviews separately on the second channel too over the next couple weeks. But besides that, guys, we got a monthly report to go over today. Oh, and my friends, from what I have seen so far, Stream Deck, curse you. Absolutely curse your soul for not working. What I've seen so far, people, is the good news. I have brought the good news of our Lord and Savior monthly report. The one and only, not the one and only, the number one spot to go to see Star Citizen development, because all other places lie in some way. But the monthly report is gospel. It's not really. It has its problems, but it is, in my opinion, absolute. The place you want to go if you want to understand what's actually going on in Star Citizen. Not the progress tracker. Definitely not that. Roadmap, okay, they'll tell you the next quarter, sure. Even ISC and Star Citizen Live will tell you what's going on, but not tell you when it's coming. I guess that's the same with the monthly report, but the monthly report gives you such a detailed look. And that's why we're having this stream today. We're about to go 2 hours straight of straight nerdosity. I'm excited for you to join me. Welcome, my friends. Punji, I see you, Toes. Good lord. With the emotes. All of them. All of them. Revixie, actually, it's not all of them, Punji. I bet you have hundreds. I imagine. Core Gameplay, how you doing? Good to see you. Rev, Shifty, Plank, Astro, welcome. Martin. Monthly update is nice and fun, but at the moment you get more excited by leaks concerning quantum. And the state of the economy. You know what's fun? Let me let you in a little sneaky peeky leaky here. Check this out. I'm gonna probably release this later this week, because now it's the perfect time. I have a video here for any supporters. If you haven't seen this yet, go into the YouTube page and check this one out. It talks about the quantum economy and how it's gotten to where it is. And my friend, I'm also very excited to be hearing murmurs, whispers, murmurs, and movements around that, especially with like the mining refactor going on, cargo's coming in. It's feeling good, guys. It's feeling good. Excited to go through this report. Leo Element, how you doing? Tuckbone, Deus, Havoc, good to see you. Woody, Cantor, welcome, dude. Joe, 07's buddy, almost halfway through it. Pretty good episode so far. Thank you, Tuck, and thank you on the congrats. Really appreciate it, guys. Pedro, how's it going? Good to see you again. SE, one of those games that just helps you realize how much more important skill building in real life is than in video games. Build something real in real life. I build a video game in real life and then build something in that video game. Then you're really beating the system. Then create the Matrix. Matrix is nothing more than a video game, right? With terrible consequences. All right, folks. By the way, maybe we'll do a little preview of the podcast at the end of this if we have some time. I'm obviously a little bit early. I don't know if anybody noticed. Never early, Mr. Early Man. This is part of a big week of streaming for me. I want to get back into the swing of things. We have sort of had to fade off a little bit with some stuff over the last month or two. A lot was going on. Obviously, plenty of people heard about the earthquakes here in Turkey. We took a lot of time to put resources towards that and time towards that. And obviously it was a very big grieving moment, period. Still is. Not to mention we have elections coming up on Sunday. So that should be interesting. But like a lot went on. And then 318 kind of took a big downturn right when we were getting up to things. So things were pretty rough over the last month. But we want to make a big return. Episode 100 is out. We want to do streams every day of the week this week. So if you're on the Discord, you probably saw that announcement. Mining, salvaging, all that jazz, testing 319. And if you'd like to join, make sure to jump on the Discord because it will be they'll be doing some public stuff. But let's get into this. This is why we came, right? Hey, thank you, not me, mister. Welcome. We came for the AI content, the pseudo Squadron 42 section in the Star Citizen monthly report. So starting off in April, the AI content team continued to refine behaviors, improve animations, and develop new features for the PU and Squadron 42. This involved further, I like how they threw the PU in there. This involved further work on the sleep and bed relaxation behaviors, which received improved animations. They also polished various leisure animations that allow characters to watch TV and use the mobiGlass on bunk beds. I joke about Squadron, but like these are obviously going to have to be used in Star Citizen. Like NPCs will go to sleep, they'll get up, they're simulating their whole life thing, just like something like a Rockstar game might do. So they have to work all that stuff in. But the best part is this mop and bucket, my friends. Never forget the mop and bucket. Various AI blockout animations for janitorial tasks were created, such as placing and using the bucket and mop. Hey. AI content also made significant progress on the janitor's workflow. Swish. Swish. And swish a third time. It's a complex workflow. This is just T0. T1 will have an extra swish. T2 will have a dip. Swish, 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 dip. With design and animation working closely together on that. Thank you, AI animations. You love to see it. I really got to get... Come on, Stream Deck. Please, just... Should I try plugging it in? I'm going to try plugging it back in. Hold on. Let's see what happens. Please don't break the whole stream. Let's see what happens. Oh. All right. You know what that sound means? Oh my God. Okay. It didn't crash everything. Moment of truth. Come on. Nope. It's just a no-go, unfortunately. Even the program is opening though. You can just never, you can't trust any of this technology ever at any point. The quantum leaks are not as important as people think. I mean, I don't know how important people think they are. I think people are just excited to see the words quantum and simulation. Just the fact that it's being mentioned, I think, is pretty important. But I don't know how much people have been posting or celebrating about it. Stream Deck's just being a jerk. I mean, it's working. Don't know if you can see this. I can't even change my scene so you can. I got it right here. See, the buttons are on, but they don't do anything. No reason. It was working like half an hour ago, so it's whatever. This is just, it's like a fact of life, I think. Either way, let's continue. Add content added variation to the trolley artwork. Moving away from the white box version, further expansion was planned too. I wonder what the trolley artwork here is. Are they redoing the trolleys that are already in the game? Because I don't think they've said anything about that. Interesting though. Thank you for making us privy. They're currently looking to prevent trolley popping and improve box placement in the hangar for a more realistic and less robotic look. Trolley popping sounds kind of like a early 2000s dance move from a music video. Like, do the Superman, lean with it, rock with it, trolley pop. I kind of like it actually. Trolley pop rolls off the tongue. Maybe like a Star Citizen dance. Software update? I don't think so. Like I said, it was just working. Like nothing changed from this just working other than I closed and reopened OBS. All right, Mrs. Tomato has just informed me that because everybody in the community is so awesome, and I mean, I had nothing to do with this. She just likes to, you know, make things a little bit better. Put up a Pisces, sounds like a Pisces Expedition starter pack, including a copy of Star Citizen, free of cost. Don't worry, we're not giving away the ability to buy it. Giving away a copy of the game. Check it out. It's in a link on the website, linked down below. Pop it up, type an exclamation point giveaway on Twitch. I think that will make it pop up. But no matter what, it's always available through the website. Check it out. Win a copy. Come and join us on Invictus Week, and let's get back to it. AI Tech here, last month, progressed with navigation and movement system features. Yay! They also completed tasks for the navigation cost area modifier, which will mark specific areas and increase or decrease the cost of paths that go through them. This will influence which paths NPCs or ground vehicles choose, alongside polishing and providing feedback on the feature. A way for entity tags to influence cost area was implemented. We've got footage of this. Yo, I like this song. What is this? Can you guys hear this? This is hot. I'll take this. See, this is the kind of song I want you to open to, okay? Do that. Do that for me. Swap to a different USB plug. This happened to you the other day and swapping worked. Okay, I'll try that out. Thank you. That'd be good, because like I'm trying to record stuff for you guys while we're doing this. So here's something on what we just listened to. This is about them creating those paths, kind of working in the navigation cost modifiers into the AI's path making. And you can see, like, especially down here, let's see, like right here, you can see that red, green, and blue all have different modifiers to the cost. So an AI will want to move between those spaces based on how much that's going to cost them. So like this yellow thing could be a block of fire or acid or something, and it has a -1 modifier, which means this AI is going to try and avoid losing that -1 at all costs, unless, say, it's forced to go through because of a hazard, or because it's fleeing something that's more dangerous, or because it needs to in order to make it to an objective at a certain time. I think it's pretty cool. They actually show, I don't think I have the video here, but they do show the AI avoiding fire too. So you can see it's doing the same thing here. It's avoiding the cost modifiers in green and taking the easy route. And so you could be like, oh yeah, the green here is grass and the blue is sidewalk. So they logically walk on sidewalks when they're supposed to in the game. I'm sure plenty of games do this. I think it's really cool though to see a physical example of how it works. And here they say they modify it a little bit. by taking into account what somebody is wearing. So a location with fire will have a high cost for normal NPCs to ensure they avoid it. However, the same area will have a lower cost for NPCs wearing fire protection. And since we know there are going to be affinities with NPCs that want to work harder or are more risk averse, I am imagining different NPCs will also want to risk things differently based on what they do. So gang members, one person might be willing to charge you with a shotgun while the other wants to hang back and cower away. And actually, wasn't really expecting to bring this one up, but I think I have an example of this from a long time ago. This was like some B-roll I used all the time. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to find it. This is some B-roll I used to use all the time in videos because it was a really early previs. This one, you guys recognize this one, showing essentially, I think, what they're kind of trying to say here with the affinity stuff, at least. I brought that up, didn't I? We're not even talking about affinity. We were talking about navigation. Either way, I'm getting sidetracked, but this is what I was talking about. You got AI who are supposedly going to react to situations in different ways. Some of them might look terrible with a weapon and like they don't want to be there. Some of them might look like they are decent and might want to be there. And then we have other NPCs who are combat trained and very confident, and you can tell that they're ready for fire. You know, these are probably your gang members and your military people. That's supposed to weigh into a system like this. Somebody who is more trained might chase you through a space base out to your ship than somebody who's less trained, who might just sit behind. But we'll see how that works out. How are you supposed to watch this and the new launch sequence? Launch sequence on audio, this on video. But turn the captions on here so we can say hi, could talk, you know. Swap to a different USB. Oh, I already read that. First time catching a live stream. What's up, Plank? Didn't know there was a Mrs. Tomato. Yes! Mrs. Tomato is running the show in the background. Ships given away, podcasts being done. All that stuff would not happen if if Mrs. Tomato was not making it happen. Also the best mod. Absolute best mod. Toes. It shows, hey, Purple Yeti, I see you. Making that Ed and Eddie reference. I like it. It shows us them making the cake, not just us enjoying it at the end. Yeah, and you know, I like watching cakes be made. At least when they're like shot well. You know, those YouTube videos with the really good B-roll. All right, work also began on ground vehicle collision avoidance, which involved updating the system to support both vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-NPC avoidance. This required unifying how agents are separated. Previously, they were separated by agent type, like medium characters or large vehicles. That's the end of the sentence. I read that wrong. Now, all agent types with different avoidance radiuses and rules are processed together, providing they're in the same navigation volume. I don't know what that means. This required unifying how agents are separated, which was originally by type. Okay. Now they all have different avoidance radiuses. Oh, okay. Now all agent types with different radiuses are processed together. So, oh, I see. So they're saying like if there's a vehicle and a person close to each other, then the NPC is going to avoid them as a group rather than each one separately. Which probably it's going to work a lot better. I just imagine an NPC on like a small ground vehicle trying to weave through a ton of different parked ships instead of just going around them. That's a solid addition. That's like one of those things you don't really think about until they tell you they need to do it. On the AI tool side, improvements and optimizations were made to the usable coordinator. The team also extended the debug AI tools, most notably adding a visualizer for testing tactical point system requests. You know, every couple days you got to make a tactical point system request. I think it means instead of one method for a person and one method for vehicles, the same method but adjusts for size. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that, Deus. Heading to the fridge right now because of me? The fridge? What did I say? Something about food? Don't make me hungry. Don't start talking about... We always get to food in this stream. You guys throw me off course. Where were we? Look at, see, throwing me off course. AI vehicle features. The vehicle features team completed the new fighter combat AI flow design and can now play against NPCs with a reasonable variety of behaviors. I've read this multiple times, and I'm not entirely sure what is the relevancy of that. If they're, because we haven't heard about a new fighter combat AI flow before design. I don't know. Maybe we have, but they're saying it like they expect us to know what it is. So maybe I missed it. But they're saying they can play against NPCs with reasonable variety of behaviors. I'm guessing this is just a combat testing tool type of thing, which I thought they had. They recently moved into testing and tweaking, though they'll continue to further modify behaviors based on various character traits. It's all, that's still good. Differing combat. I remember back when they used to talk about doing this. I bet you I have. Yep. So this was the last time I remember them talking about this. Basically, they were testing out how they can make gunships fight differently from fighters. You can see here, they're focusing on making it so that the gunship's flying sideways instead of head on, because they want to give us the biggest, the most turrets a shot at the ship, that kind of thing. This would have been when I thought they were doing stuff like this. You can see they were doing some testing of large-scale battles here. But I guess this is their new version of it. It seems a lot of the tools that they have been using in years past have reached a new level recently. At least some of the ones we've been seeing. Cake. I did mention cake. You're right. You're right, my bad. You're not crazy, I'm crazy. It's okay. Time was also spent improving ship spline following. This involved implementing new algorithms for calculating a ship's speed along a spline to prevent it from flying off. Probably good. That and the one about these AI avoiding things is, we need both of those in large amounts. They also began experimenting with the procedurally generated splines feature, which enables ships to fly around reasonably detailed geometry without colliding with anything. This will be useful for various features like keeping players alive when NPCs are around in ships. Does anybody else get nervous when you see an NPC in a spaceship? Oh, one of the things that'll help is the ship recall feature mentioned in last month's report, which also might be the same ship recall feature that we see in the recent Mobilas concept. Remote retrieval here. Still more to be seen on that. Ethnification, how's it going? Walgrit, yo, my friend, how you doing? Thank you so much for becoming a supporter on Patreon, my friend. I sent you a message. Hope you've seen it. Purple Yeti, that makes sense. Large gunship battles seem more Star Trek than Star Wars. Space ballet versus space jousting. More interesting, too. I would love to play, like, be a turret in a broadside battle between two javelins. That'd be cool. Just orbiting. Okay. Animation team. Animation continued discussing creatures. Creatures. Creating a matrix showing matrix. God. Matrix. Creating a matrix. Dude. Sheesh. Creating a matrix showing the skeleton classes they think should exist and how the creatures could use them. Y'all seen what kind of creatures they're coming up with for this game? Just to get a, let's get a lay of the crowd, yeah? How many people remember them showing creatures in a Inside Star Citizen? So I think it's been a little while since they've done that, probably a couple years. So if you've joined in the last couple years, you may have not seen any of their new ideas for this kind of stuff. Man, where do I not have any videos of that? Oh man. All right, hold up. I can look this up on YouTube. Yeah, this was 2 years ago was the last time they showed this stuff. June 12th, 2020. So almost 3 years ago. Oh yeah, they did the Boyd stuff. Thank you, Walgreat. Space cow. Yep, there is the space cow. Y'all have seen the crouch spider. Yeah, the pyro spider. Here we go. They got some interesting concepts. So here's the space cow.
Are now focused on something that hopefully players and developers like get a little more excited about, and that would be predator creatures.
This thing looks like a alligator thing.
Creating predator creatures. Where do you give us behaviors than they are necessarily visual? But this allowed us just to have some focus rather.
So this isn't all stuff they're doing. These are just like concepts.
Found some archetypes, and we named them like bear and tiger and crab, things like this. But these are not to say that's what they want to look like necessarily. These are more about
invent the trolley pop dance. The trolley pop. So you can see they have a lot of pretty crazy designs. I think this one in the top left here is one that they've gone with.
We're terming the pyro.
Which is terrifying. Yeah, there it is. Sort of so this is going to be the first fauna in pyro. And it's huge. This thing is going to destroy us. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle spaceships around these things.
That all have some bioluminescence. And one way you might encounter this is the large queen can actually hunker down and sort of disguise herself as a group of rocks, where you might end up walking
the whip
right
crab,
up on
right?
And not even know it's there until
Toki
it actually reveals itself.
What's up, dude?
The second one
did we ever confirm whether or not they actually put one of these things into that ISC? Remember the one where they were showing off the colonial outpost and everybody thought that we were seeing one of these in the background? Did we ever confirm if that actually happened?
I mean, it's more a result of maybe some genetic manipulation of
so this will be one of the first in Stanton, called the Boreal Stalker. This thing is going to be on Microtech.
DNA from Earth creatures. So there are some more familiar elements to this animal. So now you've seen the first two predators that we're going to be pursuing. What's next for us? Well, we're already working on creating a pipeline to make these things a reality in game. What that means is AI, design, animation.
No, we want whales. They don't really talk about them here. They're actually there are whales though. There are space whales that are going to be in the clouds of Orison. You can already see the place where they're going to be. You can see the statue in Orison celebrating them. So they're very, very slowly in the background working on creatures. And I think they're probably at some point, probably after server meshing, probably after AI is running a lot better, they're just randomly going to pop in. And it'll be like one patch there's no fauna. The next patch suddenly they're in, and you can go shoot them and find them and feed them other players. I don't know. Ace, thank you so much for that 10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Enjoyed that video. Updates you weren't expecting. Thanks for watching. What happened to my music? Appreciate you checking it out. Not my normal style video, but 319 is an interesting patch. There's a lot to it. I'm excited to make more videos about that the next few weeks. After this, of course. All right. On to character art. Hold on, let me try that Stream Deck thing real quick. All right, that is my last time trying this. Let's see if it worked. Come on. Nope, no good. I'm gonna probably have to restart the computer. It's kind of crazy how bad this stuff works. How it just can like completely stop working like that. All right, either way, we can continue on. I will just have to go through a little bit extra effort over here on the side. And for that reason, I'm gonna keep us right here. Okay. Static. Yo, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. RSI Apollo. Where are you seeing that? I hope that's there. I haven't gone through this. I hope there's an Apollo in here. AI or art on the character side. Last month, the character art team completed the Frontier Toxic and Desert Environmental Wear outfits. The Duster Faction's common outfit and the Frontier Light Helmet. Guessing outfit is like this stuff we saw before. Their self-proclaimed Frontier clothing. This stuff. We've looked at this several times now. This, I'm guessing this is Frontier, like, what did they call it again? Frontier. Yeah. So this is probably what they're talking about here. Whatever concepts they took from all of these, they probably are one of these that they're talking about. How many are there? Frontier Toxic and Desert Environmental Wear outfits. So that's 2. These are environmental, so these will look more like the big ones that we have. But the Frontier Light Helmet is maybe something from here. I actually don't see any helmets. Who knows? Who knows what it might be? But I think it's of that vibe. Yeah, it's on the progress tracker. Apollo won't be worked on until after the Santoki Eye. Yeah, they did say back in November that they were going to move on to one or the other, right? No problem, Zavi. We're all excited for an Apollo. Give us the medical beds. All right, alongside this, character concept art prepared handoff sheets for the Headhunters gang and the Duster outfits and began exploring an upcoming subscriber item. I'm going to definitely have I just had a podcast episode, I guess, about this with the Astro Historian. It's actually really good. We go into a lot of the lore surrounding the gangs, surrounding how Stanton and Pyro are going to be shaped by the lore of Star Citizen, and it touches on these gangs a little bit. But I would love to get him probably on a show sometime around Alien Week. I'll get him and a couple other lore people together, and we'll talk this stuff, because I think the gang stuff coming up is really interesting. Seeing them work a little bit faster at some of these more crucial systems, quantum, platforming, EVA, that kind of stuff. I'm hopeful that maybe Reputation isn't far behind, and maybe we will see an update on that this year. But hopeful, but not expectant. Let's move on to art on the ship section, though. That's ship section. Ship section. Okay. Just call it art. Last month, the EU vehicle content team completed the final art pass on an all-new vehicle, and the LOD 0 art pass began on one of its variants. Guessing this is not the Lynx. Yeah, the Lynx is here. Aopoa, Xion. So they don't mention the X1 anywhere, but I don't think they're that far along on the X1. They had just started the X1 in early March, I think that was. It was whenever they gave that Star Citizen Live with these guys. When was this? This is the beginning of February. So that's 3 months? X1's planned for later this year. Yeah, so I don't think they would have X1 going to final art pass. So this all-new vehicle is not a ship. So it's not whatever we're expecting from Misk. I wonder what this is. I know I'm not the only monthly report you guys are watching. Tell me, has anybody had a theory about this one? This one actually kind of interests me. Yeah, he said the next one is next. 600i? No, this would be all new. And it's not unannounced, so it's something that we know about, I think. But maybe it is unannounced. They don't seem to be saying unannounced in anywhere in this one. There's a theory that they're making an ambulance RSI rover, because advertising and releasing the links during Invictus doesn't make much sense lore-wise. Yeah, but they were already talking about the links down here.
There he is!
Yeah, we got the call to prayer going. So whoever is, whatever this is, I imagine they would talk about it with the links. You think it's a ground salvage vehicle? That'd be so cool. Probably the one and only water boat. You were hoping for the Spirit in 319. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Could be the Fury variant. Yeah, could it be that, like Tuckbone said, Mirai is the vehicle? Yeah, they're the vehicle department of MISC, and so the Fury that we're all hearing about is actually a ground strike vehicle or something. I don't know, and they're talking about another variant of it, maybe a racing variant or a, God forbid, a salvage variant. I don't know. That it's crazy speculation, but I'm interested in hearing what this is. I'm guessing it's not for Invictus Week, but maybe it is. If Lot Zero just began on a variant, I don't think they're coming for Invictus. We'll see though. Another new ship passed the white box stage. This is nearing completion and will move to the new production stage once an upcoming review is completed. Let's keep an eye on this too. I'm always looking at the way that they refer to these ships and vehicles and trying to figure out what they are based on that. I'd be interested in seeing what this ends up turning out to be, because they're starting by mentioning a new ship, and I'm wondering if this is something that's from the roadmap that we already know about. Like a, I don't know, a Vulcan. What if they just whipped a Vulcan out of nowhere and they were like, okay, it's a white box stage, we'll have it in by next year. Keep an eye on that too. The team wrapped up on the RSI Lynx rover while another upcoming ground vehicle progressed through the gray box stage. What the? What is this? That's got to be the X1. Come on. Ground vehicle going through the gray box stage. Could be the Expanse, Akili. Good call. Just raised a CIG support ticket to buy back your Polaris upgrade as a special request. What do you reckon your chances are? I don't know. I don't even deal with the ship stuff in the store all that much. But I know they're a little stingy about it. Any of those concepts from SitCon last year. That's right. Yeah. And that was for a RSI mining ship, I believe it was. What's up, Slow Ride? How's it going? We got a fantastic community going on around here. Looking forward to some SC when you upgrade your desktop. What are you looking to upgrade to? Let's see. Stepping on, we got the LOD pass on the Argo SRV was completed. Praise be. Relating to this, a support pass for tractor beams began. Oh, that's good. Which includes retrofitting the new vehicle tractor beam onto existing supported ships. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is big. Oh, this is going to transform the usefulness of ships. The Nomad is going to be the best pirating ship there is. Holy crap, you have a tractor beam right above the cargo deck, and you never have to leave your ship. Cutlass Black, tractor beam. Caterpillar, tractor beam. 315P, tractor beam. My hope for the Rock DS, tractor beam. It's going to be so nice when they start fitting these tractor beams to vehicles. I'm looking forward to however this pans out. I did a video about this a couple weeks ago. The tractor beam is one of the best parts of the game. I think it'll be one of the most useful parts of the game. And the fact that they're doing so much work on it is kind of indicative, I think, of how the game is going overall right now, development-wise. Good stuff. Yeah, the Nomad. Little known thing. Check it. Take a look-see. You go to the Nomad ship page. I want to make sure I go to the actual one, because this one sometimes it's the little dumb thing. Yep, this is the little dumb thing. I hate it when you take me here. Take me to the stupid brochure thing. How do I get to their little sales page? Star Citizen, why is your website like this? Here we go. Look, why are there two different pages for the same ship? Why? Let's see. You come all the way down here and you scroll through and it says... And you got to go all the way around, huh? Here we go. Versatile utility. With a size 1 multi-purpose utility mount at the rear, the Nomad is suited to varying and extreme situations. That's this red dot. And then you go through and you say Star Citizen, utility mount. And let's see if we've got... Oh man, do we not have something official on that? Here we go. Utility hardpoints can only take utility items. Utility items have numerical sizes. Let's see, where are they? Where are the hardpoints? Utility hardpoints. I know they've said this somewhere. We're gonna get there. Utility items, blah, blah, blah. You could swap the... There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. And I will admit, this is from 2017. So... maybe. Oh, you're aware of the Nomad, but you disagree of it being useful for piracy when you have the Cuddy Black? Well, I mean, both ships can be useful for piracy. Maybe not the best. Maybe it won't be the best. But I like it. The idea of an open bed in the back is pretty freaking nuts. So here they say you could swap the Terrapin's radar dish out for a mining laser or tractor beam to allow basic mining or salvage, but you have no discrete way of processing it. In a situation like this, you'd likely need a second ship nearby to process things effectively. So I think this paragraph is really, really, really important. And I don't know if it's still true. But like the idea of putting a mining laser on something with a utility mount, it'd be like you put a mining laser on like a Nomad? Could you... or like could you put a tractor beam on a Terrapin? I don't know. It's interesting. So they haven't really expanded on this, but I guess now with this tractor beam functionality starting to come up, they're looking into utility mounts. So we'll see what they do. Reese, dude, thank you so much for the sub. 30 months, dude. 30 freaking months. Hope things are going well, my friend. Hope you're having a good day, good week. Beginner piracy. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely still a beginner ship. They also have those panels on the front fins. Which ship is that? Don't want to come out as that arse. No, oh, not making my opinion is better than yours. I do agree the Cuddy is probably better for piracy than the Nomad, just for the fact that it has a better size and defensibility. Salvage beam on utility mount. Right, but that's kind of what they're selling here. I mean, if you can take a Terrapin's radar dish out and put a mining laser on it, then I'm guessing a salvage beam wouldn't be too crazy, too out of the wild to be an option. Anyways, very cool to hear that they're working on these. A component bay pass continued on the MISC Freelancer, which progressed to the LOD 0 and final art phase, and the Crusader A1 Spirit continued through LOD 0 phase, passing the gray box review gate. Yeah, those are going to be a little ways off still, I think. But I wonder if they will try to get the A1 in for Invictus. No, not if it just passed gray box. That's still a way out. Tractor beam on all mining ships seems to be a must. I guess going by what they're saying, unless the moles beams are purpose built, you could put a tractor beam on one of the moles turrets. Tractor beams for pirates work on two fronts, cargo and stopping drifting ships after distortion. True. Mining beam on a Terrapin sounds hopeful at best. CIG is actively making sure that Terrapin doesn't have a use in the current game. I mean, they can't do much for it. It's two things. The two things that make the Terrapin special are its scanning abilities and its armor, which are both things that aren't really in the game in any way useful. I hope scanning gets an update with the new star map, though. All right, in the U.S., the United States office, the gray box on an upcoming vehicle was completed. They had to say, we have redesigned the dashboard and cockpit to better allow for better visibility while driving in first person. We also did a short pass on optimization as we found that we may have gone a bit overboard on the detail and needed to pull back a bit, especially in areas rarely seen by the player. This could also be the X1. But I don't think the X1 is going to have a cockpit, so maybe not. A lot of vehicles coming up. Still a big focus on ground gameplay. What's up, Safin? What was the page I was looking at a minute ago? The shipyard. This is one of the design documents for engineering in the game. So they have all of these that they cover: weapon hardpoints, thrusters, ship mass, all that kind of stuff. Ship mass, I think, is something that was mentioned in Star Citizen Live. He mentioned that the densities of materials are now taken into effect, and yeah, it's all here on the website. Sometimes people say it's scope creep. I say it's CIG not doing a good job of continuously communicating everything they want to do. But yeah, if you want to, I can link this for you. Where are you? Use that Twitch. Here you go. Not just ships, though, Gamers Cafe. They keep saying vehicles. And it seems like, I think there's 3 vehicles. There's one here. 2. 3. And 4. 4 and a vehicle. 4 ground vehicles all at the same time. That's got to be the most they've ever been working on. Except for when they were doing all the cyclones at once. When do I think helmet animations are coming? No mention of that. It has to be before Squadron. So, sometime in the next 4 years. Gray box on the Aopoa Santokyai progressed, with several areas being redesigned and fleshed out, including the rail system within the glass canopy. The team also created several iterations of the seat and settled on a design that highlights Aopoa's use of Xion anti-gravity technology. In addition, they progressed on the new dashboard to further push the use of alien tech. Alien tech TM. Santokyai is pretty cool. This thing is probably going to be the most interesting ship in the game when it comes in. Very unique design. It's like the Aopoa Cartual, which is already in game. Does all the transforming and the cool things and the bits. When it transforms, it flies vertically. Kind of sprawls out its wings. Looks very grasshoppery. Why isn't this working? There it is. Here's a better picture of it. This is what it's supposed to look like. So they've obviously probably changed it a little bit in the getting it from this concept phase into game, but like you can see it's delicate looking. It's supposed to be very strong though, agile. It's got omnidirectional thrusters, so it's very maneuverable, and it folds and spindles and does cool things when it lands. Yeah, they've said like hundreds of ground vehicles they want in the game, which is nuts, but... Are you the only one that got pissed when you saw 3.20 on the roadmap? Like, bro, you thought 3.19 was the last patch before 4.0? No, they've been basically saying 3.20 was going to be a thing for a while now. But they might have not been able to say it. 4.0 is going to come whenever server meshing is ready. They'll just keep putting patches in front of it until it is. Basically, what's happening with 4.0 is what would have happened with 3.18 if they didn't have to do 3.18. They kind of dodged that problem with 4.0 because with 3.18 they basically had to do what I did with my podcast, which was get to 3.17 and then be like, okay, it's 3.17 and a half, 3.17 and 3/4, 3.17 and 90%. Like, okay, 3.18. But with 4.0, 320, 321, 322, 323, all you could just keep going. So we don't know how many patches there will be. I think we'll see a 320 in October, maybe ish, around that time, and then maybe a 320.1 or 0.2 for IAE, and then either a light 3.21 or a 3.20.3 in December. And then if we're real lucky, and I mean real fucking lucky, maybe we'll see something about 4.0 in Q1 of next year. But I don't know. Or maybe not even 4.0, but just Pyro. Maybe we'll see it in testing by the end of this year. But that's a big maybe. Anyways, positivity. Yay. Who was that? Who did that? Chamet! Thank you for the gifting of that sub out to Tumblerino. Appreciate you. Welcome to the sub club, Tumblerino. Please consider taking advantage of that and checking out the exclusive videos that we make for all supporters. You're expecting 4.0 and static server meshing to be just as bad as 3.0, 18 if not worse. That's a good game plan. Imagine we're in 3.29. Oh my God, Captain Danger. You're hearing 4.0 has been delayed because the guys working on 3.18 caused delay. I don't think we would be able to know that unless CIG has said it, but I don't think they would say that either. But that is possible. I mean, it's all related tech. Definitely considering they expected 4.0 to be out in December and it wasn't because 3.18 was delayed, that makes sense. Are the 3.20 and 3.21.22 patches going to take a while or just like faster patches? They will just be, I think we're going back to the quarterly cycle. So you'll see a patch every quarter just like normal. But I think the difference between now and what we were seeing before 3.18 is every patch is an actual patch. I know we're a little bit off base. This is basically tradition for my monthly reports at this point. But if you go to release view, and this is for a lot of the newcomers out there, I'd like to introduce you to the majority of the 3.x patch cycle, which was not nearly as exciting as the last year, despite the 3.17 delays. Let's take a look at what we were getting back then. Let's just jump into, let's say, 3.9. We got the prison uniform. We got the prison. That was good. Got a couple of moons. Solid. AI navigation collision avoidance. And 3D pathfinding on planets. Contact list refactor. Player interaction system improvements. Prison missions, player status system, bounty hunting. This is actually a pretty solid patch. Although I would say not many of these were super crucial. But even looking at this patch, looking at the features that we were getting, I think the prison is pretty good. But do any of these features stand up to things like salvage or physical components or the cargo refactor? Look at 3.10. Grimhex improvements, a new shop at new Babbage, new weapon types for AI to use. AI are using cover. The bartender. This was nice. We got player trading. The ability to send money was good. Impounding of ships. Super great. Everybody's happy about that. Turret gunnery, thruster efficiency, body dragging, ship HUD rework. This was actually another solid one. Okay, these updates weren't that bad. They had a lot of objects in them, though. Like, these have a lot of things added without the game feeling like it was taking much of a change. 3.11. New planet tech stuff, ground textures, cargo decks, force reactions. The first inventory, actually. Grenade throwing. Again, these are things that, like, they added to the game, but like when you compare them to something like attach and detach of components, or like the full-on salvage hull stripping, or like new missions can retrieve consignment hull C, which is going to come with like freight elevators and stuff. These 3 patches already have, I think, shown a distinct difference in the weight of the features that they're adding compared to the previous patches. So I'm excited to see what comes after 3.20, because even if 4.0 doesn't come this year, clearly the updates are hitting a little bit harder. And even the stuff that's not on here, there's a lot of things that don't get listed on this view of the roadmap that get added into the patch, and we can see that those with 3.19 are also really nice. Like, you don't see a You don't see a full resource rebalance on here. Even though back then, back in the yesteryears, they probably would have put that on here. So the roadmap feels like it's a little bit smaller, but I think they're doing bigger things at this point than they were before. And that's the end of that rant. Thanks for joining. Go to the early 3. 3.4 was a monster patch. 3.3.5. This was a funny one. When they finally, because they just couldn't get into the 3.3. 3.4 had 2 mission givers, Loreville Business District, mining improvements, ship item rental, player interaction improvements, scramble races. Yeah, see, the patches just, they felt like a lot of things. I think it was because we were getting things like armor and weapons and like ships that made it feel bigger. But a lot of this was just kind of felt like treading water. Came in at 3.5. I came in back here. Ah, those are the old days. I didn't say the good old days. Those are the old days. All right, let's jump into the engine segment of this. This is always a rough part for me, but I think we can push through. Okay. Besides support for the ongoing patch release, the core engine team ironed out tech developed over the last few months, readying it to be integrated into the main development stream. That's actually the before 4 times, Melchior. That's really good to hear. Because we've been hearing a lot about different core engine stuff going on the last few months. To hear that they're getting ready to implement it, I wonder if that's a 3.19 thing that they might be doing. This includes testing the new pack format. That's something, guys. We've freaking covered that to no end this year on the monthly reports. That'll speed up the game's startup. That's good. When QA is finished, the engine team will begin integrating it into the main development stream and enable it for all the other departments. Cool. The new internal code build system, StarBuild, is in the final stages of having Linux compilation enabled. Afterward, the team will start to roll this out internally. Does it feel like all of these things, like their build system, audio system, UI system, mission system, like they're all actually becoming a thing? I think we say this every month. Like the tools are becoming tools instead of just words that are supposed to be tools. It's Vulcan, and no, they are still a ways away. What is that an answer to? Yeah, gamers, I remember Cryastra. Good times back then. You remember the blockade of that station? For memory management, the engine team are continuing to develop an internal tool to better analyze memory usage. Hey, another tool. For the Gen 12 renderer, the team ported the last remaining legacy rendering passes to the new API. Nice. Wait. What? They ported the last remaining rendering passes to Vulkan? That seems further along than I thought it would be. They also began deleting the no longer needed legacy code. I mean, it's not like I know exactly what that means, but I didn't expect Vulkan really to be something to consider until the end of this year or next year. So it's pretty cool that they're talking so much about it. The engine part. What were you talking about at first? It's Vulkan and no. No to what? I don't know what I had asked. What's up, Stumafu? How you doing? You're intrigued with this spicy update Wikipedia mentioned in chat the other day. It's pretty good so far. And we haven't even gotten to the good parts. The tools are starting to interconnect. They meant Gen 12 typo. You guys are confusing me with the Gen 12 talk. You remember spending hours thinking there was some way into that station and not being able to find it. Yeah, I guess so. It's just nice considering how they were talking about their milestones in CitizenCon 2021. Made it sound like a very linear process. And I was thinking a year for each milestone just to be safe about it. Happy to hear them talking so much about that though. That's cool. Improvements to the streaming systems also began. First, the team simplified logic to update the per instance streaming data, which will leave less code to maintain. Additionally, they began moving more streaming logic away from the main thread to background workers. This affects the frame time less and streams objects much faster. Work was also done on the generic shape system, with the current focus on the editor to follow the designers to set up multiple subsegments. To improve entity areas, significant code work was done to ensure consistent and non-duplicate enter and leave events are sent in all cases. Whatever that means. The physics team added winch support to the rope system, which allows them to switch between fixed and pulley attachments. I'm going to show y'all. I got more footage for this, believe it or not. They've already shown this in Engine. It's a while ago. But we have visual on a winch and pulley system, or at least a winch and rope system. Probably can't really tell that well because of the quality, but you can kind of see that he's hanging from a rope here. It's dangling down. And I've watched this, and I've waited. I watch it every month, a little ritual. I wait for the full moon, go out in the night, 2 a.m. in the morning, I play that video, and I say, please, someday, I want a rope. So I can get the out of these freaking caves when the stupid platforming buttons don't work and I can't climb the dang steps, you know? Really hoping for better frames, although still far away. Your archive is amazing. Thank you. I love it. It's gotten really slow lately. I'm going to have to optimize it somehow. I don't know. For the Alpha 3.18 release and beyond, work went into managing the memory of physics objects. This will allow them to collect every allocation call site as well as utilize customizable upper object limits, which will help to detect leaks. Leaks. They don't taste great, but you want to protect them, or detect them, and protect them. Says Previs, though, that was unfortunately not working in Engine. Oh, no, that's me. This is actually my file name, Previs. That was just me guessing if it was or not. I don't know if it is. But I guess, yeah, it's probably not actually in Engine. It's whatever Previs is in. You just want the Ranger? Why is that so hard to get? Because they gotta figure out two-wheeled traversal for that. What archive? He's just talking about the files I have of all the Star Citizen content. Let's see. Additionally, the old error-prone manual ref counting was replaced with a tagged weaker point approach, which is safer and more friendly to multi-threading code. Geometry parts are now assigned a unique ID to enable them to be queried by name. As a side effect, this puts more requirements on debug names, which will make them more expressive and globally unique. Additionally, the individual physical collision of geometry parts can now be disabled. Improvements were also made to physically based wheeled vehicles on how they handle contact with hard surfaces. A new specialized AABB tree was introduced for use with signed distance fields, which favors a fast tree generating speed at the cost of slower culling code. Interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do with the other wheeled vehicle, because we know they've been working on that for a little while too. And you see, this is sort of some of the work that they're doing on ground vehicles right now. You can see on the left side is the current model that we're driving with, and you can tell that it's floating off the ground. It's not keeping much traction. The car doesn't look like it has much weight. Right, so you can watch the left side here, and you can kind of see it floating. Very familiar, right? It's exactly how we do it in game. And you look at the right side here, and it's going over those same bumps, but it seems a lot more weighty. Like there's a lot more individual suspension to it. It falls to the ground immediately. It just looks like it reacts a little bit better to the ground. Wondering if that's at all related here. Pre-rendered. There it is, Ravixi. All right, on to features, Arena Commander. I love the features section. We're getting there. We're getting to the exciting part. During April, the Arena Commander feature team focused on Alpha 318.x release support and finalizing planning for the rest of the quarter. The engineering team supported the code rework for the VMA loadout customization menus. This will enable it to work better alongside the new spawning technology introduced with persistent entity streaming. Analytics work was also completed, including adding support for features coming later this year. Finally, for engineering, several new game modes and filters for the new front end were created to help players find the modes they want from the new game mode selection window. Not gonna lie, I kind of blacked out for that reading. Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta send a quick message to the Mrs. Tomat, the commander behind the control console. Yeah, I sort of blacked out for that. Like, I didn't even pay attention to what we just read. Was that super important? Work with persistent entity streaming. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. All right. Do we know when the C1 will be for sale in game? Oof. It's going to be a quarter or two after it comes into the game. So probably won't be available for sale in game this year. What's up, BN Dev? How's it going? Finally, for engineering, several new game modes and filters for the new front end were created to help players find the modes they want from the new game mode selection window. Arena Commander's design team finished 2 new versions of the reworked Deferred Link track, which were successfully playtested. Which one is Deferred Link? Is that the one on LS3? Is that this one? This is Deferred Link, yeah. While only one of these maps can become Deferred Link, after overwhelmingly positive feedback, we'll be releasing the other one as a brand new 4th edition to the New Horizons Speedway collection. Nice. Okay, cool. So we're going to get both tracks. They're getting reworked. Looks like they're physicalized. They're atmospheric, which is going to be interesting. We don't have any atmospheric racetracks yet. This is going to be a really good way for orgs and groups and teams to get in game and practice atmospheric flight in a way that you don't have to come up with. You don't have to come up with the criteria, right? You don't have to find somewhere in game that challenges people or that you can easily test people on. You can just send people in here and say, if you can pass this in a certain time, you qualify as a good atmospheric flyer, in our opinion. At least a good speed atmospheric flyer. Doing well, being dev, thank you. Needs to have some locum to charge his brain shells. Brain shells? I'd rather have some baklava, not gonna lie. Locum is more Mrs. Tomatoes vibe. Let's see. Design also continued to polish the new Arena Commander front end, adding filters, detail to the game mode tiles, and video backgrounds to the mode buttons. Finally, designs were completed for an unannounced feature. Interesting. What is an unannounced feature? All right, features on the character and weapon side. This is where things get interesting. Oh god, okay. Thought OBS almost broke there. Sheesh. OBS is struggling over here. It shouldn't be that bad. All right. So we are starting here with, wow, that is really bad. Is my CPU doing okay? Yeah, it's doing fine. I don't know. We're starting with EVA here. So in April, features team began adding EVA fuel to the actor loadout. When implemented, players will use fuel as they accelerate or decelerate while free roaming in zero gravity. If fuel runs out, they can use their oxygen supply as a low-grade emergency supplement to get them to safety. However, jumping from surface to surface using the new zero-G traversal system will not use fuel, making it a viable option for players traveling without thrusters or that are low on fuel. The multi-tool tractor beam can be used to navigate environments without gravity too. This is, okay. So we're gonna look at some of the past stuff they've said about EVA. I've got some stuff here. We've had this talked about for years now, and some interesting stuff has been said about it in the past that we actually just heard about in the monthly report here. So let's listen to what they were saying about EVA Tier 2. Geez, I completely messed up my chat over here. A couple of years ago, and see how it's translating into the game. Let me pull this up.
Designers to then craft spaces that allow you to go, okay, let's have a jump, and then followed by this mechanic, then followed by this mechanic. So you can create this interesting layered systems across all of these different mechanics to create traversal puzzles. And that's basically what they fundamentally are. But we don't necessarily have that in an EVA space. Now, tractor beam, obviously the grapple hook is, at the moment, it's, your Spider-Man in space. Now, obviously, fundamentally, that doesn't mean that, you're just going to have this and you can just tractor beam forever. But vice versa, you've also got unlimited EVA fuel with EVA. So at the moment, you can just EVA everywhere you want to go. You can tractor beam everywhere you're going to go. So for 312, I'd say really enjoy that, guys, because that's something that is not going to be a long-term endeavor. Because what we want to do to create a more fun experience is that, okay, I've got limited fuel in my EVA pack. So, I don't want to be stuck out in the black without fuel. And then it's like, okay, I've got a limited battery on my multi-tool, but maybe I'm using that multi-tool for salvage purposes. Maybe I'm using it for cutting. Maybe I'm using it for healing. Maybe I'm using it for the tractor beam. So all of a sudden, you've got a limited use tool that has multiple uses in gameplay, but, could potentially get you out of a bind, or if you need a long range grapple hook and EVA, and then you've got 0G push-pull. Now, 0G push-pull, the fundamentals of it's free. So it's just under your own effort. You're not consuming a resource. So the 0G push-pull is kind of like what I'd call like wall climbing. That's the one where
he says that, but then we have to eat a burrito to make sure we're better after we do all that pulling around.
Want to be going, I get to a location, let's say it's a derelict. I can now 0G push-pull. I'm pulling myself around. I'm pulling myself inside. I'm using these grapple holds to get to my location. And you're like, cool, but I'm not expending any resource. And all of a sudden there, we have these three mechanics. We have 0G push-pull, we have tractor beam, and we have EVA.
I think that's super, super crucial. That's part of their whole thing when it comes to the game in general. Like, they want us to have to go out and say, hey, you picked a specific loadout for your mining setup. Well, you didn't pick the certain tools that you needed for this type of rock, just this type of rock, so you can't crack that rock, only this one. You got to make these choices, make that call beforehand, plan ahead. And yeah, I think Star Citizen takes too long right now because everything is constantly scattered. We're constantly getting wiped and reset and things like that. But in the future, when it's easier to get everything together for when we want to play, I think it's going to be really crucial for us to also have to plan for this kind of stuff. I think it adds a lot of weight to the things we're doing, especially when it comes to things like traversal. I like this kind of choice. I don't know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your opinion on this idea of like limited traversal fuel. Because it's not like you'll never be out of luck. You'll always be able to push and pull. But the idea of running out of EVA fuel is, I'm sure is going to make a lot of people a little bit nervous about gameplay. But here they are talking about it again for a couple of minutes here. It's actually towards the end of last year. So this gives us not only a better idea of what they're planning for the future, this also shows us it working in the game already for Squadron 42. Here it is.
How we work in EVA. First off, you're not upright. You're in more of what we call the Iron Man pose, so you're leaning forward. We still retain the upright pose for certain circumstances, but it means that you've got a better sense of your actual volume when you're traversing forward, so you've not got these legs that, are beneath you. But you can totally look around 360 degrees. Your camera is stable, as you get a good orientation. When you look back, you see your body. It's fully decoupled, so you're not just pushing forward and you're flying like a spaceship. You push forward, and that gives you an initial inertia in that direction, and you will keep going in that direction.
I love that. Kind of makes me wonder if that's going to happen when we jump off of ships while they're moving. Yo, Dewstorm, thank you so much for the membership on YouTube, man. Wish Toki a happy birthday. He's just turned 11. Bless him. Oh my gosh, bless his heart. So happy to have Toki there with us in the org. Probably one of the most responsible 11-year-olds I've met in Star Citizen. No, thank you for the membership, though. I'm sure Toki really appreciates the call out. How might we refuel our EVA packs? I'm guessing it'll be something as simple as a usable, like a med pen. Some kind of EVA fuel pen that you plug into your armor or something. They focus more on limits and practically nothing on common sense items like, I don't know, parachutes. I mean, a parachute's not really a common sense item when you're going to be falling in several different types of atmospheres. But I don't think they're not focusing on common sense items. I mean, the tractor beam is a very good opportunity for... it's a space game first, right? It makes sense that they're trying to figure out EVA before they're figuring out extra gravity-based platforming. But they do talk a little bit about that here, too. I'm hoping what they end up doing is just use the EVA system as a sort of booster system that we can use to save ourselves when we're falling.
Until you change. But then when you want to change, you just need to look at another direction and you push that way. And the way we've implemented it, it's almost like your suit's kind of similar to the IFCS on the ships, that it kind of like counters the forces and then allows you to go in that way. We actually originally tried it where you would drift and actually do the curve, but it just made traversing more intricate spaces, which is what we want to do. And, eventually we want to be able to turn gravity off in ships and that you can take those down. And
it's definitely, I mean, that's part of the plan. I mean, we
absolutely.
Even, in the resource network segment, that's one of the things.
So all of those tight, intricate areas that we've built over the last 7, 8, 10 years now, I suppose, that you can go into those tight areas, you need it to be stable. You need it to be in a position where you can turn on a dime, that you can look upside down, that you get a good sense of what, your orientation. And I think that's something that we've really pushed ahead on EVA-T2. And to be honest, the engineering team have done a really fantastic job. I find it a lot of fun flying around in EVA.
Yeah. And then I'd also say the other thing that we should point out in the longer term for the PU, not so much in Squadron because you're in a sort of pilot suit that has EVA.
Dang, they talk about this I forgot how much they talked during this thing. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Inventory, the physicalized cargo and everything else. And if you look at all the new ships, there's always locker and storage. There's we have a whole system for...
I remember watching this live and just being like, oh my God, please put the B-roll on.
But then coming to the PU, it's designed so there'll be a nice sort of locker, almost like a wardrobe system that you can go in and hang up your outfit and switch quickly into another outfit or switch into this
clothes,
space suit
armor, everything. Yeah,
so we want it to be your virtual second life, and we want to make it as easy as possible for you to manage all these different things that you can wear for different roles. EVA is one of the minor parts of that, where, like I said, you either have an EVA suit with a pack or not, but you still will be able to move around. And we should probably run the video so we can.
Good job bringing it back around to EVA at the end like that. Let's take a look at the EVA video.
I'm sorry, I can't turn the volume up for this at all. It is maxed out on my computer. It's maxed out on just about everything I have access to. Let me see if my sound mixer gives me anything else, because I can tell it's kind of quiet. I don't know why it's coming through so silent. Yeah, no, everything is maxed out. One last thing I can try here. Nope, we're all the way up. Sorry. I don't know why it comes through so quiet. It might just be the video itself.
Well, and as Chris says, in terms of,
Here we go,
the EVA, this is what you're seeing here, is that you'll probably see some of it in the third person, the thrusters are not firing because
it's
decoupled.
the old VFX, but it's also the old VFX code. So we haven't part of the proper, this is a current PU suit versus what we'll have is a new one with the proper pack that has the thrusters in the right position and when you go forward.
So we'll probably get a new...
So what you're actually seeing here is you've actually connected...
I wonder if we'll get a new default suit with an EVA on it, or if they will, if they'll just leave us default without EVA capabilities. I don't know, because he just mentioned a new suit.
To this surface.
Maybe they'll just add one to the default suit.
It's almost like you're in a prone situation, but this is going to be what more our new prone will be. Again, you've got full 360 degrees. You can just move your mouse and you look all the way behind you or all the way in front.
And right now we're moving along here, not because we're thrusting, because we're using our hands to move ourselves around, and we're looking around as we're doing that. If we went out to the third person here, you would sort of see us moving our hands around. I think we'll see it a little later on. There we go, here we go. So
Look at that little wiggle.
pulling ourselves along.
Waddle.
And if we wanted to at this point, we could stop and we could push off against it, and then we would just go floating out into space. So that's the sort of idea of what we.
This is what they call the trolley pop.
Push pull.
And so what you're seeing here,
he just pushed himself off.
So what you're seeing here, that's actually kind of, you're just floating alongside the actual this fin of this Asiata station, and this is actually keeping you in this orbit. And then if you did, and that's just, you just push forward and go, where you can actually jump off into space. But then this becomes one of the, if you look at physical traversal where you've got jumping. And
so I'm wondering, because they don't get too into detail with this, is he going to hit this eventually? Because it curves. So is he going to just keep, is this the kind of thing where you're like locked to the surface that you're on, or you just go straight? Because if you're not just going straight, that's going to be really weird. But it would be very cool if you just kept going like you were actually decoupled and floated off the side of whatever it was. But they didn't specify that here.
But then this becomes one of the, if you look at physical traversal where you've got jumping and mantling and vaulting, this is where we have 0G push-pull. We have the tractor beam that kind of pulls you around in EVA, and then we have your EVA pack, which is limited by your resource of EVA fuel. So this allows you to kind of manipulate and go in EVA, and allows us as developers to build EVA traversal spaces, both wide-ranging and both small scale.
So yeah, here's I mean, we were before in first person looking around, but here's us cutting out the third person to actually show you what your character and body's doing. And so there's a lot of, I mean, and these are still blockout animations actually, but
like you're under effect of microgravity. You think it's animations that keep you close?
So there'll be a lot more like nuance or fidelity to it. But yeah, you have a lot more control, directional sense, ability to look around, ability to
I like how it straight up looks like you're going through air right here.
Directional sense, ability to look around, ability to stop.
I get why they do it.
So I think, in this one, we're going to come up close to the glass above it.
Yes.
And you're actually going to see us, like if you fly into something, you sort of arrest yourself, again, block out animation, but you're going to, as we get down close to it, I think we're going to come down, you'll see as our character comes down here, our player comes down here, yep, put our hands out to brace ourselves to stop us.
It makes me laugh so hard because like they clearly edit it because it's just really ugly the way it happens.
Down here, player comes down here, yep, put our hands out.
Okay, let's just cut.
Stop ourselves on the glass here.
So Chris, okay, there we go. Bring it back. I like that. Do it live. Okay. I don't even think that was live. I think that was recorded. Here is one last little update that we got on EVA from back in the day. And I think he says some of the stuff that we just heard, but again, just solidifying how they do stick to the general plan of a lot of these mechanics. It just takes a while for them to get them developed.
It's 0G. Talk to us about 0G
Yep.
and EVA.
This one's a lot louder, right?
Some changes coming to that.
Here's the video.
So the biggest thing about EVA is that we're eventually going to be introducing an EVA fuel to EVA. So that it has like a compressed inert gas that you use to utilize your EVA. We're turning it into a decoupled mode. So essentially you use your jets to go in a single direction, and then you don't have to press the controls anymore, and you'll continue going in that direction. Rather than right now, you're like a ship, you push forward and you keep pushing forward and moving, and then you release and you stop. So we're turning it into a decoupled mode. Alongside adding in the fuel mechanic or the inert gas that allows you to do that, we're going to be introducing what we call 0G push-pull. So you'll be able to attach onto things and basically pull yourself on the outside of an 890 jump or climb on things. And essentially, EVA T2, which introduces decoupled and the fuel, and 0G push-pull, and then the tractor beam, those three mechanics will create the traversal mechanics to create EVA traversal puzzles and EVA traversal missions.
I think it's pretty cool. This is part of why I like space. I don't know about y'all, but like the fact that they can make so much, they can make so much out of just moving around in the game is going to be pretty cool. The types of like kind of puzzles and stuff that I think they can do with derelicts in 0G, with space stations, as we've seen with Korea and not Korea, sorry. What is that? Gundo Kovalix. Like they can make some really cool environments with this stuff and require some really interesting things with EVA and zero-G push and pull. So that's kind of the background of EVA. And now we're seeing in the monthly report in April, they are adding EVA fuel to the actor loadout. So this is a big deal. This is a big feature coming through, and it's coming from Squadron 42. So I think this will be the first time we really get to see what they've done with a Squadron feature. If it's going to be polished, if it's going to play like a finished game, or if it's still going to play like a Star Citizen Alpha implementation. We'll see what happens. I guess we'll get another update on that next month. Being coupled to a surface seems very un-Star Citizen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't see why it wouldn't just be you push off and then you're just floating in a straight line. You hope the aerodynamic control surfaces will be great. Yeah, so do I. So do I. The team also worked on flak ammunition. This generates a single projectile that, on explosion, breaks into additional projectiles that fire in different directions, random directions. Part of this included implementation the option to add a proximity trigger to any projectile. Flak animation. I mean, Apex, the reason I ask that is because they are claiming that the features that go through Squadron are getting polished. They're getting ready for Squadron use, which is supposed to be in a state of a finished game within the next couple of years. So if they are getting it ready for Squadron, it should come into Star Citizen, maybe not without glitches, but deep. And from what it sounds like, you know, decoupled movement, oxygen as a low supply emergency availability, the ability to push and pull yourself around. It does sound like it's a little more in-depth than the normal features, so we'll see how they do with it. A lot of the bugginess of the features not dependent on the servers. Yeah, some of it is. Some of it is not. All right, gameplay features. This is a good section. I like this chapter. Last month, the EU-based team progressed with the mining update and tractor beam detach and attach features, which are targeted for release in Alpha 3.19. For salvage, development of the munching feature began, with the first prototype finished for internal iteration. For the refinery, the first blockout for the UI screen was created, and the gameplay beats of the various refining methods were discussed. The team now have a clear understanding of what the different deliverables will look like and how the actual gameplay will play and feel. Guys, mining, salvage, mining, physical components, salvage, refinery, all in one section of one update. I love where we are developmentally. And this isn't even fast. They're still putting so much of their work towards Squadron, but I love where we are, that we can read about different types of gameplay, seeing different implementations over time. 3.19, I think, is like the first time we've ever seen two industrial career paths both get steps forward in the same update. It feels good. You know, the game itself has been rough lately, and before 3.18 felt slow. So because 3.18 has been rough, after 3.18's also felt slow. But like, there's a lot of really good signs with some of this stuff. I'm excited to see what they do with refining. Especially because we can already kind of see what the idea behind it is. They've talked about it a lot. Bringing it into a ship and bringing that ship out to where you're mining from is going to be cool. Can't wait. Let's see. In the US, the design team implemented the halls for Invictus launch week. This was done using new functionality from the USPU team, which not only reduces the setup time, but also eliminates the possibility of a significant number of bugs historically encountered during the event's setup. Hull C in 3.20 gave you life. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, the Hull C in 320, them talking about refining so much is solid. I think I want to make a video about, based on the changes of mining coming to 3.19, I think I want to make a video about the backbone of Star Citizen. Because, like, it's coming together right now. We're like sitting in the months of this actually becoming a thing. The only things that are missing are crafting and being able to save locations. Because you got the ability to survey and find mining deposits. With 3.19, you will have the ability to know reliably where deposits are. So that's the data running and exploration aspect of it. You can then go and mine the stuff, gadgets, components, subcomponents, lasers, all the customization that comes with that. Pick your certain rock, whatever. You then refine this stuff, turn it into something more expensive. But now, instead of crafting with it, you sell it. So all we need to really have after that is crafting, right? Because in between all of that, you also have cargo hauling. What are we missing to create like the actual backbone of the economy? It's got to be all right there, yeah? You're finding the resources. You're extracting the resources. You're processing the resources. You're creating something with the resources. Am I missing any more of that loop? Or is that the whole thing? Yeah, star map. It's kind of what we're missing now. I mean, crafting could be literally like, you mined 10 tons of iron, take it to this thing, and now you have 10,000 bullets. Doesn't have to be much, just has to create something of value. But where are all the aliens? Hoarding the resources? Freight elevators! There you go, cargo refactor. Liberator for in-field base of operations. Y'all getting poop mechanics? Come on, y'all. I'm assuming I'm not missing anything. Wonder if people realize crafting isn't going to be making things, it's going to be repairing when what the NPCs creates. Have they said that? Have they specified that you won't be able to make things with crafting? Because we already can make the multi-tool. Crafting could be shipyards to supply in-game ships. Oh yeah, we're missing the career paths. I'm talking about a single loop. I think they have a really good... I might have something for this. What is this? So this is kind of showing it. Not completely, but this shows some of it. You've got resource location, and I guess mining, and then you've got refining it, and then you've got, we're not involved in this. This is the factory part. This is part of the economy, and then the shop, which would be where you'd take the stuff you craft. This isn't what I was looking for, though. I don't think I have what I was looking for, unfortunately. Is this it? No, that's the same thing. How about this? No. Yeah, I don't think I have a good explanation of it, but I think I'm wondering if I'm missing any part of the loop there. How you gonna fill the hull C? Hopefully with a MBUV. C temp. Oh, yeah, I know. It's the multi-tool crafting is temporary, but like we can do it. My point being, they can create the ability for us to create stuff. So I'm trying to understand why they would not allow us to create things, but also where they've said that. Y'all, I know the I know the multi-tool crafting is temporary. I do cover this game for a living. Some people legit think we will be able to craft anything and everything. Always good to set expectations right. But I would be surprised if they said already that we can't craft anything. That seems like a really strong statement for them to make before they've taken a big shot at it, unless they said it in the SCL this last week. I'm going to assume that since nobody said I'm missing anything, we've got the whole loop here. So all we need is crafting and trade and saving locations. And we've got the entire mining game loop in the game to some extent, which is pretty cool. Raft got bigger containers with the onboard tractor beam. That's fair. You could use that for the whole C2. Where were we? In April, the team refactored how in-game ship prices and insurance expedite fees and times are calculated. The process is now automated based on a ship's stats and characteristics and will continue to evolve as the amount of data factored into the price calculations increases. Is this part of the 319 buffs that people said? They were making all the ships have a lot longer expedite time and fees? As a result of redistributing mineable resources, the team completed their initial pass on refineries. Yeah! This will change how efficiently each location refines specific ores based on their abundance of mineable resources within that region. This is creating so much freaking ore gameplay. This is nuts. This is the mineable resources change is huge. Along with this, they're currently rebalancing the sell prices of refined resources at the admin and trade and development division offices to account for this new distribution. This is awesome. I love it. You don't think large-scale player crafting should be a thing? Maybe supplying factories and station to lower the cost through supply and demand. That's why they say it basic crafting, which is needed for ships like the Crucible. Where did they say that? Like, I need a source. This is incredibly valuable and crucial information, because if we know how crafting is going to work, I'm going to make a video about it. And if we have a decent amount of them talking about it, then that's valuable to have, because I think the only stuff I've heard so far was this last Friday. They talked about us doing crafting in the far future on the last vid. Right, yeah, that's all I've heard about it so far. Hammer's back said mining, refining, transport, good production, transport, good sales. Yeah, that seems like everything. Seems to be a lot of confusion recently on what this game is and is going to be. It's a space sim, not a survival game, nor an MMO RPG. I think it kind of is an MMO RPG. I think it's a space sim that's trying to be an MMO RPG. Don't see why they wouldn't allow us to craft anything other than big vehicles when the tech is there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be... since we're not controlling the whole economy, I think it's less dangerous to allow for crafting. If we were going to have more say in how the economy went, though, I could see it being a big problem. But I'm not a developer, so I don't know. I just look at everything that they say. Won't say crafting won't happen. It won't be crafting everything or anything because it's not player-centered economy. But will crafting happen? I gotta get a... I need a straight answer on this. Has CIG come out and said that players cannot craft in Star Citizen? Or have they said that that's not happening in any way? Not an MMORPG. Meanwhile, they're thinking about adding soft skills of some kind. Yeah, which is kind of a interesting decision. Giving players the ability to craft certain items like weapons and ships could give them power over the economy, though. But if they're always balanced, if no matter what players are doing, if they are always being outnumbered 10-1 on what they're doing, theoretically it shouldn't allow players to control the economy. I don't know how it would work in practice, but numbers-wise, it seems to make sense. Chris originally said no MMO crafting in my game. Really? That is one I didn't know. define crafting. I would say crafting is any form of production. So, like, taking a mineral, putting it in a refinery, and I guess that's refining. It's not necessarily the same. Taking a mineral, let's say, like, I don't know, like base building is crafting, in my opinion, because base building is taking resources and creating something and putting it into the game. And we know for sure we can do that. So, you know, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to craft something like a chair for an outpost, or like a weapon rack, crafting boxes. Like, I think all of these things, when we want to make them, are going to take resources to make. Past ISC said that you will be able to craft going forward. I might need to rewatch that. In a recent episode, they said they're preparing to add crafting outright. Not sure how anybody got the opposite impression. NPCs define what the base modules will be for base building. No. That's not the case. We will definitely be able to build our own bases. Yo, I heard Toki's a birthday boy. Dewstorm came in here, said he turned 11. Good for him. Congratulations. MMO crafting might refer to using a crafting menu with arbitrary resources. Maybe. Yeah, refining fuel is kind of crafting. Letter from the chairman, and that is just what we have now. In the future, you'll be able to farm or gather other resources, build, craft, and sell. The universe of Star Citizen is a huge sandbox for everyone to play in and couldn't be more exciting. Letter from the chairman. Oh, December? Yeah, I think they are planning on having crafting in the game. I have not seen them say that they don't want to have it, and I've only heard them talk about it in the positive so far. Okay, I think, Transam, I think what you're missing, what we mean by crafting. Crafting is just taking resources and making something out of it. I don't think anybody is expecting to, like, space engineer Star Citizen and actually design our own items and make those. I think everybody's talking about creating the pre-made things in the game and using those for what they're used for. CR doesn't care if not every gamer in the world is into SC. He's been clear about that from the beginning. Yeah. Base building could be referred to as crafting, you're right. I think it should be. They don't talk about that yet, though. Finally, the engineers focused on the new cargo deck and external cargo loading gameplay that will be used to support ships such as the Misk Hull C. This is the first step in a sequence of planned updates to make cargo gameplay more physical and tangible. Fundamental concepts such as the cargo warehouse and asynchronous buy and sell orders not only support the Hull C, but will be implement. Oh my god. Excuse me. But will be implemented. I can't read. But will be important elements in manual cargo loading within hangars. Tomato. Missing a couple leaves. This is another one. This is like a crazy section. This is mining update, salvage update, refining update, I guess resource update, and a cargo hauling update, all in the features gameplay section. I love that. The last video they talked about using a plant to make oil for your machine, but it was a side note as a possibility. Right. Yeah, they've definitely talked about harvesting harvestables and mining minables. They said that crafting wouldn't be in like Minecraft way with chopping wood, but in a more tech advanced way. Right, I remember that, yeah. Not cutting down trees and making tents. Worried about relying on AI for loading and unloading. Hope we get to do all of the steps by hand if we choose. Yes, definitely. You'll be able to do all this, like, if you want to. crafting would be more like Eve. I don't know how Eve does it. You won't be able to make a gray cat tool. You will make parts to repair a gray cat. That's the difference. You won't infringe and make a tomato multi-tool. I'm confused. Are you saying you won't be able to craft a gray cat tool? Or that you'll have to craft either way, I think you understand. You're saying make parts to repair a gray cat. That means make parts. That means crafting. Let's move on from the crafting. I think we get it. Crafting's in the game. You could have no problem with supplying resources at a shop front workshop and have a request item built at a significant price reduction. Yeah, that would be cool. They could sell limited use blueprints to craft equipments, plays into data running gameplay. That's actually a solid idea. I like that. See how they could do something like that. All right, mission features. To add greater variety to in-mission ship combat, the mission features team began adding all ships into the enemy spawn pool. Oh my god. Are we gonna start getting like... What's the weirdest ship to run into for a fight? What would be the strangest ship to dogfight with? An 890 jump? Can you imagine, like, you're out for a bounty and a pirate's just flying around an 890 jump, insulting you? We used a tool to pit all ships against one another 1,000 times to determine a difficulty progression. It's a lot of times. Work also continued on salvage missions, with attention given to missions where salvage is used to restore valuable ships for profit. Development continued on the package extraction, data heist, and consignment retrieval missions. Various ship interiors were also marked up, ready for combat. Can I just, real quick, look this up? Okay, I thought I was misunderstanding the word consignment. It feels very ambiguous. The name consignment retrieval missions. You feel like we won't be able to craft in the sense of making vehicles, weapons, armor, but we will be able to produce raw and refined materials as well as housing. Could see weapon modifications done by players, similar to how it was done in Star Wars Galaxies. As a life sim, you're sure it will fulfill many game genre descriptions given the extent to which they develop items, properties, attributes. You wouldn't be surprised if crafting becomes many things. I think if you can't use the resources that you're creating, people are gonna be a little bit bored with it after they refine stuff. Selling is fun, but selling gets old. Cargo hauling, but we don't own the cargo. Yeah. I get that. It's just like, are they just? I wish it was something like large-scale cargo missions or something. Because now I'm wondering, does this, when they say consignment retrieval missions, I just think of the package missions, you know? Just like package retrieval missions. How is this different? But we'll find out. They'll tell us more later. It's cool to see a data heist mission. I hope that's using actual hacking mechanics and not just another button press mechanic. And package extraction, which is the other delivery mission thing. It's delivery missions, but larger. How much larger? Is this like I need to hire 2 Starlifter pilots to get this stuff around? Because like that's pretty cool. On the code side, many much needed fixes were added, while work on players defending their ships is almost complete and will soon begin testing. Graphics, VFX programming, and Planet Tech. Last month, the graphics team worked towards enhancing the game's realism, functionality, and developer workflow, with a range of long-awaited features and upgrades. For example, streaming locally compiled skinned meshes is now possible, allowing for much quicker loading and replication of the release build. The editor also has a new HUD feature that indicates when resources are being compiled. Water volume fine-tuning began for use on planets, specifically with atmospheric and fog volumes. These integrations are part of the Q2 water deliverables. Yay, water deliverables, which also include water ripple simulations in all bodies of water. They talked about this. Ships crashing in water, creating waves and stuff. Ah, I see. Thank you, Drazen. Where were we? What did I miss? A series of performance and compatibility improvements were made to the core renderer. This included the removal of some legacy CPU to GPU buffer management synchronization, which could on occasion cause hangs in NVIDIA drivers. The team also began moving volumetric fog and gas clouds to Vulkan. They're currently looking to enable the feature following essential compatibility functionality and visual quality control fixes. That's pretty sick. Pretty cool. Destrophic, thank you for the sub over on Twitch. Pretty sick, dude. 8 months now. You know what they say about 8 months? Stay at home, drink your liquids, stay off your feet, no flying. Verified Planet Tech did have a pass in 319. Take a look around when out and about. Really? Where did they verify that, Sketo? What about camera aspects in water? I mean, like how the camera interacts with the water? 8 months did fly by. It's pretty nuts how, like, it's May. That's gnarly. Magda? You saw something on Magda? The UI tech and graphics teams made considerable progress on the interior map feature. Last month, the map's core visual features were completed, with the current focus on performance improvements and poly count optimization. A temporal super resolution prototype was integrated too, paving the way for improved resolution and clarity across the entire game. For the ongoing development of FireTech, a new shared resource manager now efficiently manages 3D texture data across multiple fire emitters associated with single voxel grid. As part of this, the voxel grid received several important bug fixes, including an out-of-bounds issue caused by discrepancies between the iteration code and preliminary code. This fix ensures accurate and consistent rendering of voxel-based elements within the game. Y'all are going to have to figure that one out for yourselves. You were 20 minutes behind because of work, but you're caught up now. Nice, Cantor. Oh, your rock is gone? You're scared of the day planets become destroyable. This seemed like an oversight when you heard about it many years ago. Hope it's not really a thing. Destroyable? No, I think they confirmed recently that we will not be able to affect the actual geometry of planets. Cry-Astro blockade. That was a big moment. One of those times that'll always be there in Star Citizen lore history. All right, in-game branding didn't really do much. In April, the in-game branding team created the interior and exterior signage for Pyro's Ruined Station and continued supporting the EU locations team. Why don't we take a quick look at Pyro's Ruined Station? Right after Microsoft finishes spamming me with their programs. The Ruined Station stuff that we're seeing. This is good stuff. This station looks amazing. It's massive too. I mean, like, this is a Javelin. Hold on. I might have footage of a Javelin next to our current space stations. Let's see. I don't know if this will provide decent scale. Yeah, you can't see the whole space station, so this doesn't really tell you much. I don't know if I have any shots of these next to the actual space station itself. No. Because the Javelin looks pretty big next to our current space station. But then when you put it next to this, put it next to Ruin Station, and it looks legitimately small. Interesting concept. So this is Ruin Station. This is the main landing zone in Pyro. This is our next star system. It's an unlawful star system, so it's not super safe. Clearly, you can tell by the red colors and the ominous orange lighting, and also by the fog in the space station. And this dude, he looks kind of sad, so clearly he's probably not a good person, you know. But this is the main landing zone in Pyro, which means it's taking the place of New Babbage, Lorville, or Area 18, Orison for the pirates when the next patch comes out. So if you are a bad person, this would be like your central location in the game. At least once the next update comes out, once the 4.0 or Pyro update comes out. And so they're just talking about the branding that they're doing. They're doing a lot of decorating on the inside, making it look like a very old station, a place where people are keeping running, but not necessarily keeping that functional or operative. And it looks good. You know, I think really what's going to make it pop is NPCs and audio. We know that they can do visuals. So we'll see how this looks, but they've been spending a lot of time on it. I got high hopes. Ah, my camera froze. Why did that happen? Why you do this? All right, that's gonna be a problem. I can't, hold on, guys. Don't mind me. This is, there we go. Nope, it's not back. There we go, that's the source. This is the difficulty that is OBS. And it's not coming back anymore. So yeah, my camera just shut off for no reason. I guess we're going no camera for the next however long. God, dude. I think things like OBS and like all this technology that these companies make is gonna end up being the end of me. They're actually terrible. Like, I never want to rep any of these companies while I'm doing this work, and you can clip that. These companies create garbage. Fucking garbage. And you pay a lot of money for it too, and this stuff just doesn't work. Yeah, PC reset and I'll be good to go. Not always the best solution when you're live. All right, let's continue with lighting. The lighting team progressed with core work on cave lighting, which will be added to the PU's new and existing caves. Hopefully that's a 319 thing. I don't know if anybody's been in the new caves to see that. Progress continued on Ruin Station alongside other small tasks, and we just saw some of Ruin Station, so here's more of that. Is there an update for OBS? I just updated yesterday. All right, Live Tools. The Live Tools team progressed with the design of a new Network Operations Center feature. They're currently involved in the continuous improvement of the tool, which aims to provide the best experience possible to its users. That's fun. The team also began rolling out a new version of the internal error handling pipeline. I wonder what that is. I hope this has something to do with being able to test. Nah, I don't think that's what that is. What's more buggy, the streaming setup or Star Citizen? It's Star Citizen, but it's much closer than it should be. But you know, maybe it's my fault. Yeah, OBS isn't some greedy corporation. No, I'm not gonna give them crap for that. But the amount of, and I guess I wasn't thinking of OBS too much there. I was thinking more of Elgato. OBS is not bad. It's probably a problem with my cam link here. It's not a OBS problem. That's not necessarily who I was thinking of there. Because both my problems today were the Stream Deck and the cam link. OBS seems to be fine. Everything's transitioning, no problem, as long as I'm not touching Elgato stuff to do it. I don't think my problems here are with OBS. I'm guessing if I... Nope, the light on the cam link's still on. Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. Narrative team. Let's get back to it. Y'all aren't here for camera explanations. You're here for Star Citizen stuff. The narrative team spent the month closing out tasks and submitting numerous bug fixes to help get the next patch ready for release. They also continued to give items, clothing, and armor names and descriptions to all of the poor children of the Stanton system. They also supported initiatives to help new... Okay, sorry, I wanted to see if anybody noticed that. They also continued to give items, clothing, and armor names and descriptions, and worked with design to improve salvage missions. Additionally, they began working on upcoming content, including the new package extraction, data heist, and consignment retrieval missions. So they're working together with the missions features team, who we just saw in Star Citizen Live. They said the first teams they start working with when they work on these missions is narrative. So these things are just barely getting touched on. But I'm guessing at least consignment retrieval missions are planned for 320. Honestly, Plank, I like the Stream Deck too. I like Elgato stuff, but the amount of times it just stops working. And it could be all my fault. I won't discredit that. I've got a weird knack for having tech not work around me, so it could very well be my fault, but I think make it usable by the idiot. Make it foolproof. All right, work continued on... sorry. They also looked at expanding the air traffic control dialogue to support new gameplay, including the new cargo features. That's nice. I would love for them to say something different than, please proceed to the assigned hangar. Work continued on Pyro, with narrative helping the content team develop lore for the system's initial contracts and how players can interact with the various outlaw groups. That's good. Interactions with various outlaw groups reeks of reputation stuff, so hopefully that's what the narrative team is starting to look into preliminary stuff there. Again, since the narrative team is often working with mission features, and mission features is in charge of reputation, this could be a good partnership. This could be fruitful. April also brought with it a batch of new Galactopedia articles, alongside a portfolio exploring the illicit drug Widow. In addition to bug fixes on the online services team, now we are in Montreal, performance improvements and updates to the log and flow code, the online services team completed work on changes to long-term persistence. Changes to long-term persistence. We rely on long-term persistence for players to be able to transfer progression between releases. Long-term persistence had to be completely rewritten for persistent entity streaming, as the old implementation had fundamental issues and would not fit with the concept of full persistence. The new system monitors the global player inventory and simply creates or destroys LTP records for aggregates stored into or unstowed from inventories. I remember when we first got long-term persistence. You guys remember that? That was when the initial increase in players and money began. Like if you go to we got long-term persistence at the beginning of 2020, I believe it was. And if you go look at the Star Citizen funding charts on the Googs, you can see that like funding kind of exploded around that time. I'm not saying that it's because of long-term persistence, but I think long-term persistence added to the interest. Now, obviously, you can see that the rise already started with 319 because the game started getting better. COVID obviously made a big difference also with 2020, but I do think a big part of the increase in 2020 was due to the game getting a lot better. And part of the game getting a lot better was long-term persistence finally being a thing. Either way, it all kind of coincided for the game to explode in the last 3 years. And I pulled that up because we don't have the numbers for players. I think money shows a similar story to players, but I'd much rather show you guys, you know, a chart showing concurrent players or monthly players or something like that, because I'm sure that reflects kind of a similar trend. Can someone help you get... someone help you? You got Star Citizen yesterday, and every time you try to launch the game after a minute, it would say the game not respond. You've tried all sorts of fixes, but none work. First, Luck, can you tell us what your computer specs are? Anthropophagic, your Elgato stuff is always glitching too. That makes me feel a lot better. I honestly do feel like it's my fault at times. I know I blame the equipment. All right, let's see. Where are we? Oh, we got rated by Crouch. That's where we are. We're in the Crouch pouch now. Does that work? Is that weird? Should I not say that? Here's your shout out, dude. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you bringing your folks with me. I hope Twitch is treating you well, man. Hope you had a good stream doing some Star Citizen stuff. Okay, we've got a research and development section in the monthly report now. I'm sorry? What? That's interesting. I think it's appropriate. The Crouch pouch. All right. Research and development. In April, the R&D team continued to focus on... I wonder if if this is a thing because they're not doing R&D across the company now. They have like a specific team for doing it. Is that... Am I reading too deep into that? That's a really interesting addition to the report. Churning through the racing rep? Dude, I still haven't started on my racing rep. All right, anyways, the R&D team continued to focus on improving the temporal render mode for atmospheric and volumetric clouds. The major obstacles to overcome are still occasional noise and temporal artifacts in the ray-marched results for various view scenarios, as well as the upsampling of results under the presence of thin silhouettes within a given frame. Okay, so confirmed. The research and development segment is going to be another one of those ones that I just don't really know what they're saying. Additionally, improvements to cloud shaping were implemented and are currently in the prototyping stage with tech art. The goal is to improve the global versus local read of clouds as well as their volumetric look along with vertical profile, all while avoiding shaping artifacts. Wait a second, hold on. Okay, I kind of know what this means. So this is I mean, they already added some pretty new, interesting clouds to RCorp in 3.19, and if this is in the prototyping stage, that means this is another improvement to the cloud system that they're working on, and it's specifically focusing on vertical profiles. So that's cool. I hope this is another addition that makes the clouds look closer to Pyro. And Garrett, I think you make a good point in chat. I'd love to see moving clouds. I'd love to hear if there is any sort of thoughts or planning on dynamic weather. I'm guessing since they've said nothing, there is not, but it would be cool to see some dynamic weather, to start hearing about that affecting the game. Let's see, these cloud changes should also help break up tiling and overcome certain shaping issues due to limited degrees of freedom when building a 3D volume from noise, a set of 2D textures, and the parameterization used to access them. So this is, I wonder if this will help with the graininess. I hope so. You're supposed to be transported here by the crouch raid. That did not happen. I think you have to like click a button when the raid happens. I don't know. It's a very... I don't know. I do appreciate these raids though, Crouch. I hope the racing's going well. Is that your main thing right now, racing? Want to be able to see a storm in space so you know what to expect instead of a clear day that ends up being a storm when you land? Yeah. Seriously. Tired of landing in storms. And at nighttime. All right, systemic services and tools. These are the people who would be working on our economy. In April, the Systemic Services and Tools team progressed with the Service Beacon refactor and completed several bug fixes for Alpha 3.18.2. This is low-key an interesting point. Service Beacon refactor is more interesting than it sounds. Service Beacons could be the beginning of player-assigned missions. Carry this there. Salvage this material and bring it here. Mine this material and bring it here. We don't know if that's for sure, but like, I think service beacons are where something like that is going to need to start. So refactor could mean we're at least moving closer to that. Either way, any work on the service beacon system, which is kind of terrible right now, would be great. They also completed various shop optimizations and began prototyping mission markers for bounty hunting. They're currently preparing to work on the virtual NPC service. Virtual AI or virtual NPC? Oh my gosh, we got another raid from McGilly. McGilly with the raid. Look at the arms and the dogs and the horse and the hearts. I appreciate all the emotes, folks. It makes me happy. You can tell that I have no camera because you can't see me. That's not my fault, I promise. I'm not hiding from you. Unfortunately, my cam link is being a cam link, so I don't have any, you know, visual feedback right now. But I promise I am still the same person. This is Space Tomato talking. Welcome to the stream, folks. We're doing some monthly report talking about 3.19, 3.20 sorts of features being worked on, new missions, UI, mining, salvage, refining, all that jazz. If you enjoy Star Citizen development, stick around, hang out. After we finish this, might hop in game for a little while just to check out 3.19. Actually, might have to update it. Did they release an update today? I haven't updated since yesterday. Looks like there is a launcher update at least. So yeah, I hope you do enjoy some Star Citizen development, because for now, that's all you're getting. Welcome. McGilly, what were you doing in game? Who are we blaming? Generally Elgato. All SC at the moment is development. Huh. Cool. Okay, looks like there is no update. Oh, sorry, we didn't finish Systemic Services and Tools here. The team planned out the next set of milestones for the Quantum and Odin tool. They've finally broken their silence. Oh my god. How long have we waited to hear anything about Quantum? Also, can we all take a moment? Can we take a moment together and see that CIG is referring to this as the Quantum tool and not the Quanta tool? I hate being that guy, but I really think we should all get on the same page about the terminology with this system. Either way, good news. Happy to hear it. Can't wait to hear more about Quantum later this year, hopefully. Please. All right, tech art and animation. In April, the tech animation team made significant progress on head asset process. Head ass. You think CIG doesn't even know what it's called? Their naming system is rough. This involved developing a semi-automated system that has not only reduced turnaround time, but also improved asset quality. When this is talking about head asset processing. Cool. The team also continued with DNA integrations, collaborating closely with other teams to integrate their data with the rest of the codebase. Support also continued for the various feature teams. Okay. What's up, Nashwat? Nashwatched. Watch. I don't know how to say that. I'm doing well though. I hope you're doing well. UI. In April, the UI art team improved several Squadron 42 features that may eventually make their way into the PU, including improved visuals for may eventually make their way, including improved visuals for radial menus and various weapons screens. I mean, I would hope these things would make it into the PU. The UI tech team worked on several bug fixes and performance improvements and began working on the new interior map. Ah, that's also cool. You think Tony is basically GLaDOS, a human supercomputer locked up in CIG offices? I wish him a better state than GLaDOS then, a better fate. And finally, VFX. Last month, VFX provided support for several props and interactable items, including new types of volatile cargo. They also progressed with tasks for several locations, such as Lorville and various rock caves. A cleanup pass was also done on some older locations, which involved tidying up the level's layers and making sure placed particle effects were named correctly. Support for 2 new vehicles continued too. That's how they end it. Support for 2 new vehicles continued too. Whatever, sure. And that is the report. No mention of the star map here. To be honest, guys, I think they might be kind of, I don't know. I think probably it depends on the Squadron 42 roadmap. If they didn't say anything about it in the Squadron 42 roadmap, I think it's possible that they've got this, the star map into a place where they're just testing. Let's see, creating screen mock-ups, artists, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, no mention last month, no mention this month. And I'm pretty sure in February, all we heard about was VFX and gas cloud stuff. Let's see, universal markers for the star map. Right. Continued to help polish the new star map. Space dust, improved controls, cubic hollow volume. See, they just kind of finished off in February with this and then stopped talking about the star map. I think they might have gotten it into a place where they're like, okay, we're good. Let's test it. Figure out what needs to be fixed. We'll probably hear about it again in a few months. And at that point, they'll say something like how they're preparing it for the PU or something. The interior map might be a part of, yeah, the star map thing. All of them combined. Your specs on your computer are the Ryzen 5 3600, AMD 552 gigabyte, 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4. That CPU GPU combo might, yeah, that might not do it. All right, solid monthly report. Let's get in the game. Let's go check out the game for a bit. What is this overlay on my OBS? Like, see, Elgato's doing weird stuff, but there's like something going on. You guys see these like black shapes up here? Like semi-transparent. Is there a source here that I'm missing? No, there's nothing on my... It's so strange. There's just like black shapes on the screen for some reason. And I don't know what they're coming from. Sketo, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that monthly report. I think it was a great one. I think the features teams had a lot to say, especially this gameplay teams had a lot of good stuff this month. I think I'm hoping to hear more about UI next month. Unfortunately, it's just... Overall, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say we're hearing a lot, but not seeing a lot. But 319 brought in a lot. And I think a lot of what we're hearing now, we won't see in game until 320, late in the year. So it's going to be like last year. Long 319 patch cycle, possibly, where we are waiting a while to get to do things. But I think 320 is going to be a amazing patch. Wait, can I still can't load in? What? What's the deal? Okay, now I can load in. I just had to take the tutorial. They're just forcing me to take the tutorial. They said, we know you suck, Tomato. All right, let's look through the tutorials. Anybody else taken it yet? How does it perform? Does it actually, am I actually going to know how to play the game after this? $10 sub ship a month, is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it to pay $10 a month for the ships. If you're in an org, I think you shouldn't have too much trouble borrowing it from somebody. Speaking of ships, as you can see in chat, Mrs. Tomato posting the links, we've got a giveaway going on right now, folks. Giving away a copy of the game with a Pisces Expedition ship. So those links, again, are in the chat. All you have to do is follow, go to our website, and there will be a page there where you can use any combination of ways to get into the giveaway and get extra points. I think typing an exclamation point giveaway on Twitch will also pull up that link for you. Okay, let's do this. Tutorial, exit your bed. Welcome to Star Citizen. This tutorial will walk you through your first steps towards life among the stars in the 30th century. Okay, I like it. Adding a little bit of lore in there, that's good. To exit from the bed or seating, press Y. Solid. Good. Already, we're off to a good start, teaching players they don't have to hold F to get out of bed, just Y. To look around, use the mouse. Okay, we don't need that X-axis and Y-axis stuff. WASD to move. Your MobiGlass personal computer features a journal where useful information and documents are kept. Press F1 to access your MobiGlass, and from the bottom row of icons, select the journal app. Okay, open. What would be nice here is if they highlighted the journal app. But since this is a MobiGlass likely built in Flash, I'm guessing they can't easily do that. Oh, okay, so they're just sending you to this. You've just stepped 930 years into the future, where humanity has spread across the stars under the rule of the United Empire of Earth. While many humans spend their lives never leaving their homeworld, that's really good context to add. Yo, we just got rated again. Y'all are blessing us up today. Hello? Ah, geez, I'm full screen. This is gonna be awkward. Sorry, just shooting you out the shout out for that. I don't mind the fact that I just left the game. Oy. Thank you so much for the raid, though. I appreciate you. How you doing? Coming from some Star Citizen. Welcome. Your Pal Games. Welcome you and all of your chatters, folks. We're just getting into 319 after doing some monthly report review, looking at the recent development in Star Citizen. Good stuff coming along. And we are just now getting started here, looking at the tutorial that came in 319. And then I think we'll go and do some mining real quick. You were doing cargo hauling? 318 or 19? Ray did a video on the tutorial. He made some good points, but his idea of scrapping the whole thing was a little much. I'll have to watch it. Wonder why you'd want to scrap the whole thing. While many humans spend their lives never leaving their homeworld, there are those who choose to travel aboard advanced starships, braving outlaws, hostile aliens, and hazardous conditions to seek their fortune. Currently, you are in Area 18 on Arcorp, the third planet in the Stanton system, a great distance from humanity's origins in the Sol system. The 4 planets in the system are owned by megacorporations who each purchased a planet from the UEE and now govern their own region of space. They are Hurston Dynamics, Crusader Industries, Arcorp, and Microtech. Area 18 is the main commercial zone of the megacity that sprawls across the surface of Arcorp. From here, the tutorial will guide you to Baijini Point, the space station in orbit above the planet that can serve as your gateway to further exploration of the Stanton system. I think... Luck, the Discord should be down below in the description of this stream. Let's look for Discord community, and there should be a link. I think this is a solid introduction. It does kind of feel a little bit too wordy, though. I think this is all... Oh, I'm sorry, you were asking for somebody else's Discord, my bad. I think this is... good context, because you do want to know this about the game, but I can't help but feel like there would be a better way to learn it. than just learning it from the journal. But I don't know. I guess this makes sense. It's good information, though. I think people should know this. So this is a good first step towards introducing people better to the lore and situation that they're in. Okay. Next, they want us to eat the burrito and drink in our hab. Here we go. Okay, holding F button and drink. Okay, they don't tell us what button to press. So we'll just hold down the mouse button. I guess there is a prompt there in the bottom right. Korjan, thank you so much for the sub and the follow. Tyvectus, thank you also for the sub. Yo, y'all blessing me with Prime over here? Thank you. Y'all are great. Getting that raffle started over there on Twitch, too. I know we haven't done much with points, folks, but you can still earn them right now for our next giveaways. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna eat the burrito. Okay, see, now he just automatically ate that. So that's different than the other one. But sure. Try my hints on. Hints are on. Okay, tutorial, your first purchase. Leave the hab. Open the hab's entrance. Cool. Teaching people the quick F press, that's very important. One that people didn't get. They're not telling me how to speed up my walking speed. That would be a good one to know here. But maybe they want everyone to RP for their first first hour. Yeah, it is weird that it makes you eat the burrito yourself. I'm not sure why that did that, if that's how... I guess, technically the game system itself doesn't support multiple bites. At least, like, that's coming in Actor Status System T2. So maybe that's when they'll put it in the tutorial, but the rest of the game doesn't work that way, so I don't know. Okay, view the area map. Cool. Teaching people where to look to know how to get around places. This is exactly what we need. It's good that they have these maps available to people, but if you don't tell people it's there, they're not very useful. Also, if they turn off when you get close to them, it's a bit of a design flaw. There we go. Okay. So, we've got new signages. We've got retail bridges, retail plaza, Arcourt Plaza, Spaceport. You look at the map, you can tell there's a hospital there. There's food here, food here. There's our habs. Cool, so you could tell we just came out of the habs. See that there's clothes, ammo. That's kind of a weird symbol. Admin office, okay. Trading. And then this is like the transfer symbol. We've got components, equipment, dumpers depot. Okay, ship parts, and then ship shop. It's pretty explanatory. I think really what we needed to make sure of was just that this was prominent and obvious. Like if you stand here and look at it for 30 seconds maybe, I think you'd start to understand it. But I have a lot of experience with this, so I might not be the best person for this. It does show that the trams go to the spaceport, which shows where the hangars are. Okay. I have the control hints on. You can see them. They're under the chat. You just can't see them in the game. It doesn't tell you where center mass is. Oh yeah, that's fair. A little secret. You know, I don't know. I kind of the kind of in the know shop. That's not bad. It's not terrible that the cities have things, as long as it's like easy to find it out. Like maybe if you ask a question to a bartender or to somebody at the spaceport or to the information at the spaceport, as long as there are very easy ways to find out about stores or locations that aren't on the map, I think it would be kind of cool to have locations that aren't on the map. So like they don't have a mission giver symbol over here, because that'd be really weird. Anyways, this is our corp. As if none of you have seen it before. To sprint for a limited time, hold left shift. You can also crouch by pressing left control. And jump by pressing spacebar. Okay. Did all that stuff. Cool. And we will go to Cubby Blast now. Go to the shopping kiosks. Ah, they added more. That's nice. Use the shopping kiosk. Use the interaction mode to browse shopping kiosk and buy or sell items. Move away from the kiosk to exit the interface. Yeah. They just straight up don't tell you what to buy. Shopping. Maybe this is it. Your first flight. Okay. Y'all are not giving me... Yeah, I have way more money than a new player. We're in PTU, so they're giving you extra money. They want you to buy a helmet, but they don't tell you. That's... How? How in the world did they not tell us?
I think you're going to be happy with that.
How are we missing an objective from a tutorial? How did you guys know that you need to buy a helmet? I think the TDD was on the map. I thought I saw the trading area. Oh, okay. So the tip is there. It just bugged. I do not have the tips disabled. Or I don't understand. You guys keep saying the tips are disabled, but they're on. They did say to equip a helmet to inventory in the text. Okay, I did not see that. That definitely needs to be more clear. Yeah, the tips are behind the chat. It says be sure to wear a helmet. So they don't actually tell you to get anything from the inventory. They just want you to get the stuff that you need to do. Or do they tell you get whatever it is that you don't have? Because the way I see it, if you're missing, let's say you're missing these, right? And you only have the undersuit, the arms, and the legs on. When you go up to the inventory, there should be a checkbox on the side that says helmet and core armor and anything else, and you have to like buy it and check it. I think this is a bit of a missed opportunity for the tutorial. They also haven't told me how to equip it, so we'll see if that happens. Andale, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you with those €2. Hope you're having a good day. You do need to have a helmet. That is why they should be very, very, very clear that you need to pick up the stuff. I do like the signs. It's nice that they have the signs out here. Eventually we'll understand them pretty easily. Yeah, I think this is the TDD logo right here. The trading one. Retail bridges, commercial district. Cool. Look at all this freaking signage. I mean, tutorial T0, but like, bruh, I'm so incredibly forgiving of this game, but that's, nah. No, I'm sorry. The helmet, getting a helmet and knowing how to equip it's one of the most important things in Star Citizen. I'm not very excited that it's so quickly brushed over. And it might be a glitch. I hope that's fixed by live. I do. But I think there should be a checklist there telling you that you need to buy these things at the very least to survive in space. Okay, so it now tells us that we're here. That's pretty good. It tells us that we can go this way to the spaceport, this way to the convention center. Awesome. They started me with a flight suit and armor. I guess they could start them with regular clothes. Hey, thank you for the bits. It's Arctic Wolf. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. Heard you talking about what Chris said would not be in the game. He also mentioned no procedural generation around the same time No Man's Sky came out. Did he? Get off the shuttle at the next stop to reach the spaceport. Cool. That would have been dumb to say, considering all the planets he wanted to have. Oh my god. Today is like... The garden is on raid duty today. Y'all are being far too kind. Now we got morphologists in here, all on the day when my camera's not working, y'all. Can't see my face for radio. Let me give you that shout out, dude. Thank you so much for the raid, man. Little Star Citizen going on here. I bet you didn't expect that. Just got in game after reviewing recent development news. If you want to see that, I will be posting a video about it at the end of the week. If you don't know me, my name's Space Tomato. I make YouTube content. And I'll have a monthly report video at the end of the week. But for now, we're trying out some Star Citizen 319. I want to see how mining is. Take a quick first shot at it and get some looks. Right now we're doing the tutorial, but we'll go from here into some mining. Voice makes up for it, thank you. Haven't had a chance to listen to the podcast yet, but you better believe it'll be in the background tomorrow. Dude, more fantastic part in the podcast. Thank you so much. For those who haven't heard it, episode 100 of my podcast came out today. Morphologist is one of the guests on there and has some great things to say about the direction that the game is headed right now. Thanks again for being on it, dude. Really appreciate it. Just made 120,000 in 20 minutes at Ghost Hollow. Holy crap. That's insane. But the NPCs have laser beams? I like a challenge. Oh my gosh, I'll definitely try that later this week. That sounds fun. You got insta-kill the second after shooting an NPC. Wait, hold up. 30 frame per second servers. Is the performance in 319 PTU going really well right now? I actually haven't looked since I got in. We're currently hitting about 8 frames per second, so it's same as usual here right now. ASOP terminals are used to retrieve and store vehicles. A tutorial ship has been temporarily assigned to you. Complete the tutorial to access your vehicles. Lame. Oh, there were 7 people in your server. Wow. Mining has changed dramatically. That's what I've heard, and I'm so pumped to try it out. The Poets, dude. How you doing, man? Your brain farted with the terminals? I love the new location for the terminals. This is way easier. But I'm wondering, this is usually commercial flights. Wonder if it will still be commercial flights or it'll still be Defense Con when commercial flights start being a thing. They didn't adjust the prices at all for mining, so it's worse now. I'm guessing they haven't put that in the PTU yet, because they keep talking about resource pricing adjustments.
Vehicle selected. Stand by at all times. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
8 FPS on the server, not on my computer, thank God. Observe the ship markers on your HUD to review the hangar where it's currently stored. Use the spaceport hangar elevators to reach the appropriate hangar. Do they point you towards the elevators? They don't, but I guess it's kind of obvious, right? Gotta at least get this far. Seriously, you're gonna have somebody be like, they didn't tell me where the elevators are. Back in my day, they didn't tell you where anything was, kiddo. Doing well. Looking forward to getting into 319 when you have a bit more time. Got some travel this week. Am I coming to LA for CitizenCon? That is the plan. We are undergoing... We're trying... I guess we need to put this on the screen. That we're trying to raise money for that. Because you do want to. And really looking forward to it, but it's expensive. So we're hoping to make it there. Excited for it, man. But you're always going to conventions. I see you. You're constantly visiting things and seeing people. So that's probably just one of many for you, huh? New player may go back to the first elevator. Oh, that'd be kind of funny, actually. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do my new player guide. I think... Now what I can do is kind of incorporate this into my new player guide and just reference it. So now I don't have to put those controls on screen or anything like that. I can just say, do what it's saying on the guide. And it gives me more time to get into the kind of more advanced basics, like your choice of missions, how to go cargo hauling, where you should stay away from, where you should go to, the difference between cities, like that kind of stuff. I think it allows content creators to cover the more advanced stuff for newcomers, while this system hopefully can help with things like find your ship. Oh, am I jumping ahead of tutorial? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh man, I got distracted. I broke it. Whoops. Retract your landing gear, press N. Okay, let's go that way.
Landing gear deployed.
Man, these clouds are much better. Your F4 and lose visibility of the tutorial. That is an issue. New player has nothing on screen anymore. Yeah, at the same time, I do feel like the game should not encourage new players to be in third person. That'll give them a crutch that at some point they might lose, and I think it would be best to do that later when you know kind of what's going on. You can get some awareness in first person. They're just trying to get you maneuvering, huh? I did use key binding to hill to get out of the hangar. Oh my gosh, dude, the clouds make this city look so cool. Oh, and this is still an earlier version of clouds and an earlier version of city. Jeez. Ah, jeez, guys. This game blows my mind. In several different ways. Knew that key binding beforehand, thus you went ahead in terms of new player trying to get along. Yeah, I skipped that part on accident. Flying and parking a hammerhead in first person is very challenging. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think by the time that you're flying that sort of ship, hopefully that stuff will be better explained to you third person and stuff. But I think if you're flying something like this first time out, might as well at least get the understanding that first person's the main way to experience the game. But it does need to improve. We need something to build better awareness. Come on.
Quantum trap is now off. Quantum
They don't tell the keybind. New user needs to read it from the journal or mission statement. I see. Be nice if they had it in the tips on the side. Okay, after exiting quantum travel, check your speed as you approach your destination. They should also put in there, don't fly directly at the space station. Eldaron agreed. Eldarion, we definitely need better... What's it called? What is it called? Jeez. Awareness around our ships in first person.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Oh yeah, this game will be a lot better in 8 months. Andele. There's a very, very good chance that in 8 months we will have 3.20, which will likely bring in the cargo refactor, likely rebalance the economy, and probably bringing huge advancements to 3 of the main professions in the game. 3.20 actually could be one of the biggest patches of the game's history that doesn't include crucial back-end tech. And it probably will with the replication layer. They also did not just warn me what was going on for the tutorial. I was just getting scanned by security. You could probably still see the ship floating around right there. Yeah. So that right there is security. While I turn, you can see it following me. That just scanned me, and if I had moved, I would have gotten in trouble for it, but the game didn't say that. So that'd be nice to add. Alright, let's land. N to lower landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Left control to strafe down. They don't tell you about lowering your speed limiter, which would be good. Auto land by holding N. Touchdown safely. Exit with Y. It's not part of the tutorial, but it could be. Considering I've done this 1 time, and 1 out of 1 times I got scanned. That means there's a pretty hefty chance that somebody's going to get scanned for their first time there, and it'd be nice to get some sort of warning. Yeah, I don't believe it's part of the tutorial. But as a possibility, I think, since it is something spawned by the game in proximity of space stations where they're sending you, it'd be nice to get some kind of a extra notification about that. Yeah, or the security could completely ignore a player if they're on that. That's a good point. Okay, I've accessed the station lobby. Do I have to go out here? We're in the station lobby game. Yeah, it told me to lower my max speed. I guess that's enough. Just thinking to do it again for the hangar. Yeah, the mission objective says take the elevator to access the station lobby. Am I not in the station lobby? A hint between checkpoints. Oh, okay. Store the ship.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
What? That wasn't my objective. All right. Oh, was it? Was that the top of the screen? Store the ship? That is so... Okay. So there's 2 objectives during the tutorials? Just the 2 systems not interacting with each other? Oh, okay. Over here is not the objectives. This is the hint system. I thought that was the tutorial. So objectives are still always at the top. They just were including the objectives in the hint system. I see, I see, I see. That makes more sense. 15,000 for tutorial? It probably is only done once. Good to know. Okay, so the top is still objectives. The right is tutorial. I had just missed. For some reason, the hint was saying to go to the station, to the lobby, but not telling me to store the ship. Okay, let's grab our prospector. And then go to a refinery system and grab some stuff. What time is it? Yeah, we could do a little bit of mining. Do we have a prospector? Uh-oh. Don't think I have one. Nope. I guess I'll have to go... Can you buy prospector from a refinery station, or do you have to go to a city? No NPC standing on chairs. Gotta go to Lorville. Jeez. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, I can rent one, but then I won't be able to use any of the components or subcomponents or anything. Oh, not enough UEs to buy one. Crap. Does anybody know if the rental ships are still locked from using different lasers and components, or have they updated that? Do they not have any armor here? See, this is where we now need some of those signs to tell us where things are. These space stations are miserable to navigate. I mean, they don't even tell you about these shops. This would probably be something that'd be good to put in the tutorial. Alright, so I guess they don't... I'm gonna have to go to the cargo deck. Ah, Punji with the super chat. Look at you. Happy birthday to Toki. The least annoying 11-year-old you know. Also the most capable that I know. One day he'll get a gift truly worth remembering. A tomato with a mullet. It'll happen, don't worry, it'll happen. It kind of has to at this point, I think. What I'm more excited for Toki is that someday he's going to grow up to the point where he can play Star Citizen. Oh, is this a new interface? He'll be able to eventually play Star Citizen like the rest of us. Do we grab everything? I also want to get a multi-tool with a tractor beam. And I think that's good. Yeah, I like this better than the default. Alright, we good. You don't know about the manual attaching? I guess we'll all find out together, folks. When we rent a prospector, can you exchange the parts? Rentals are still locked? Okay, Enigmo just killed my excitement. Did I see the released program for Fleet Week? Thoughts on the Mirai manufacturer? Maybe it's a ground-based manufacturer under the MISC label. under the Musashi group.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I guess I'll just take a Pisces. Did I notice the tutorial takes you to a station where you have nothing in your inventory? That's not going to confuse players at all. True. That'd be good to tell people before they flew away from the planet. Yeah, it needs to go more into depth. I think what this does, though, like I said, is it allows us to go more in depth in our new player experience things. So I don't know. We're gonna have to find a way to incorporate it. I think interjections in the middle of tutorial will be good, but there are definitely some crucial things that they left out of the tutorial that's gonna leave players confused. It's a start. But it's the bare minimum, and in 2023, I think maybe we could have done more. The hint system is nice, though. It looks a lot better now. More eye-catching.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I saw the inventory get mentioned when I opened it, but yeah, I don't think there was an objective to open it or anything like that.
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Thank you, ma'am. Where are we going? All right, I'll just head that way and hope I get there. Hangar 4. They don't want to show the wonky inventory to newbies. They don't want to scare people away. Or maybe they do. Hello, Pisces. For anybody who recently got into the stream and hasn't already heard, I'm actually giving away one of these ships, along with a copy of Star Citizen. This week is a kind of a special week. I'm doing a stream every day of the week, except for Sunday. So there will be a lot of chances to get involved in this giveaway. Mrs. Tomato is, of course, there in chat, dropping the link for you if you don't want to go to the website. But we're giving away a copy of the game and one of these ships to one lucky winner at the end of this week. So make sure to get in on that. It's good times, I'm telling ya. Alright, and we're off to Arkel 1.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Where did... It didn't even put the spot on there. If only the C8X had a bed. Honestly, if the Pisces had a bed, then the 100 series would be very, very much outclassed. I think it would take too much away from the 100 series, because that's the only thing that ship really has over the Pisces. What's up, Yamas? It's going well. So far, game's been running pretty smooth for me. Why do you think they left so much stuff out, Crouch? I know that a lot of stuff is sort of extra. It's not crucial for that first half hour, but I do think there are some things in that in the first half hour that weren't in there. That'd be useful. Looks like they're already improving the tutorial and incorporating feedback. That's good. I won't be that guy that asks why they needed the feedback first, but I'm glad that they're coming back to it. Andale, thank you, by the way, for the super chat. Appreciate those, the little euros. Thanks for the support. Anyone fancy helping? A newbie bought the game ages ago, haven't played it since. I have no idea what I'm doing now. Wookie Waffle, I can absolutely link you up with somebody in our Discord server if you want. They can run you through the ropes. If you're interested, go ahead and join in on our Discord, !Discord. Let me know, and I'll ping some folks and tell them you need some help. Come on. Gosh, this is like... This is one of those things that I'm just like, you guys changed this. Like, the game didn't work like this. You changed the game to work like this, and it made it so much harder. You're always coding while watching the stream. Have I tried a chance to play Jumptown? Yes, we did some Jumptown on Monday. Perfect coding background gameplay. I mean, I think they do that with most features. I would just have expected a little bit more with the tutorial. Very easy to be missing basic things when you play test this game a lot. That's true. It'd be nice if they focus tested with people who weren't playing as much. How are the winners notified? We'll put out announcements on all of our platforms for the winner. We also will email you at whatever one you sign up with. Looks like somebody's already got a prospector out here. Miners unite! Rock and stone, baby! By the way, anybody want to play some Deep Rock Galactic on stream on Friday? I'm kind of feeling it. I know we have several people in the Discord server who are into the game. Okay.
Landing complete.
Oh boy, look at that tip up there. That was ugly. Alright, boots on the ground. Happy to be back down. Yo, tactical salad. Tacta salad. Sactical talad. Doing some mining. How you doing? The local security forces uphold monitor space zones throughout the system. Any area where the satellite icon is displayed on your visor is monitored. Solid tip. Working comm arrays are required to maintain monitored space. All of this stuff needs so much explanation. I mean, I'm very used to this game and I know kind of what's going on here, but I'm just imagining how other games work. I guess I don't know how MMOs work. There are so many concepts in this game that work not exactly how you'd expect them, or run on different names or in different ways than you'd expect them. This game requires so much freaking learning. I love it. Oh, I have to go down to the refinery. What comes in a tactical salad? I think it's a mixture of balaclavas, throwing knives, ninja stars, and gymnastics. You might ask, how do you put gymnastics in a salad? If you need to ask, you don't need to know. Hangar of Rome, you're brand new to SC and it's so overwhelming, so much learning. What do you think of it so far? And the dressing? Probably the tears of your haters. Hey! Wow, people here are judgy as f***. Jeez. Did you see that side-eye?
Hey, back again, I see. Welcome.
Tactical tomatoes. Ooh, I like that.
Finding everything all right?
Yeah, man, I'm fine. Can you back off? He's like those people in Macy's. You're looking at shirts and like you're actively, you pick one and you look at it very, very carefully, or you just flip through a bunch of shirts because you want nothing more than for this person to not suggest you something else. Has the basis of something really special, but it is cryptic. Yeah. It's a confusing mess right now. So as you can see, we're going into this very bare. I'm not getting any components or any additions whatsoever. I'm going to see how we can do this stock so far. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the next month doing mining. So this is just going to be like a basic try. I want to get an idea of the base feel for mining at this point, and we're going to continue to work our way up to higher professions. I've got some stuff planned for this week. Like I said, I'm streaming every day this week, so tomorrow I'll be doing some mining. I'll invite the rest of my Discord server out to join me, so if you want to jump in for some group mining, please consider joining the server, and see us tomorrow. On Wednesday, I will be joined by another creator, Dead Leader on YouTube. You may know about him. He'll be joining me, and we'll be doing some salvage together on stream. So make sure to drop by there if you want to see some of that new salvage gameplay with the component stripping and everything. On Thursday, I will be joined by another creator, Salty Mike. Don't have plans for that, but we might also do some mining. On Friday, we will be back to some solo mining, trying out some things with components and stuff. And then some Deep Rock Galactic. And then on Saturday, we'll be back with the org. So we got a lot of gameplay planned for this week. Don't worry about this whole basic mining with the rental stuff. We'll be getting much deeper into it as we go on. And then same goes for like FPS stuff, salvage stuff, cargo stuff. I'm aiming to try and put this game through its paces during the 319 cycle. Get a lot of testing done, get a lot of data, figure things out for the org. Figure out the direction of the game right now. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I think they have some central goal that they're reaching towards besides Pyro and besides server meshing. Don't know what it is though. Wish you didn't have work on Saturdays. You always miss the good stuff with the org. Well, if this week goes okay, that's rude and lame. If this week goes well and people are really into these streams, we're going to try and start streaming more often. And with more streams more often, I want to start doing more org gameplay. Like I said, tomorrow on Tuesday, it'll be something casual where everyone can come out mining, but I'd like to start getting more events running throughout the weeks. Okay, I guess we'll store that. And then grab the prospector.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Quantum? I think...
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
You know,
Please visit us again.
I think it feels like you might be kind of right. Oh, did it lift off when I landed? You might be a bit right about that. Quantum, maybe not quantum, but a functioning economy overall does seem like a central direction we're headed. But that might just be natural. As more industrial playstyles come online, that loop of the economy becomes more possible. And with virtual AI coming with bounty hunting, probability volumes coming in, new missions depending on this stuff, yeah. Seems like a big effort in that direction. The time zone differences kill it with the org for you, Crouch. We have a lot of people. Where are you again? You're like UTC +9? +8? Arctic Wolf, thank you by the way for the sub. I didn't miss you there. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the Prime support.
Okay, 1 minute. 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 1 minute
Oh man, that sounds like a bad glitch, Nemesis. Noob here, more info on the organization? Absolutely. Let me get out of the hangar here and I'll show you. UTC plus 10. It is a tough one, Crouch. We gotta figure something out. I know we have people over there. If we can find somebody who lives in that part of the world and have them be a specialist, we can start running more stuff for that time zone. Because it sucks that we're leaving people out like that. Tactical Salad, thank you for the kind words. Have they given any details? Let's see. Where do we want to head? Ooh, I like that direction. There's a lot of asteroids that way.
Thank you.
Have they given any details on what's included in the crafting loop? The latest ISC is the first I've ever heard of it. No, not major details. We had a good long discussion about it earlier today. But we don't know specifics about crafting. I don't know specifics about crafting. I don't think they've really talked too much about it yet. Just acknowledge that it's a thing. Alright, so real quick. Our org is called the Garden Interstellar Initiative. It is a generalized org. Okay, we're okay. It's a generalized org that takes part in, gosh dang it, takes part in combat, industry, salvage, mining, transportation, protection, all those kinds of things. Right now, we are building out kind of our overall setup, but we've got a decent back end already that we're working on. You can join and actively add your fleet, be able to tabulate which ships you have, see who has which ships, so that you can join events with them. If they have those ships, you can customize your profile to show what kind of things you're interested in, what kind of gameplay. You can, apply to go higher in our org. You can see our statistics about how the player base really breaks down. There's a lot of stuff to it, and right now we are mainly sticking to casual activities. 318 took us out of the flow, I think, for a little bit because the game was so rough. So we're getting back into it right now. Looking for combat-focused folks, salvage-focused folks, and mining and exploration-focused folks right now. We're going to start taking some survey mining runs to try and start to gather data on where minables are located in the verse. And we're also focusing on some dogfighting modules. So that's our org. It's very casual. You can either take it super casually, or you can get a little bit more serious and take part in the more serious stuff we do, but we focus on choice and, like, helping newcomers and getting you comfortable and giving you the opportunity to try things you wouldn't normally be able to. If you're into that, consider joining up. It was fun when you were in and then you left SC, but around the org restructure site stuff. Oh yeah, we're doing a lot better now than we were back then. Alright, we got our first rock here. It tells you how to scan. That's nice. It's like an E-type rock, 24,000 units. I guess that's kilograms. Instability. We got a agresium, aluminum, and inert. Alright. So let's see if we can mine some agresium. Oh, it says it's impossible. Good to know. 24,000 is too big for me, huh? How are you going about gathering the data, Enigmo? I'm trying to figure out the best way to determine resource possibilities, and I don't know. I mean, I'm very binary about it. Is there resource here, yes or no? You played Elite Dangerous and it was very complex and didn't seem fun. You didn't enjoy Elite? What if you're in an org with real friends who are sort of pirates? Do you have to leave their org to join yours? No. If the org is known as a pirate org, you just need to say that in your application, And basically, the way that we'll handle it is like we'll know that there is a pirate org, and if they do something against our org, then you'll be the person who's probably held as the accountable party since you know them. But other than that, no. Just gotta let us know. Oh, we can mine this one. Corundum and Hephaestonite at 8,000 kilograms. You find the UI's lack of faith in my abilities disturbing. I don't know, it might know something that you don't. Oh, I really, really like the, I love this down here. That's great. I wonder if that shows, so is that... Yeah, that's the laser statistics. I wonder if that shows if you're on a mold. Does it show all of the lasers down there? Yeah, the new distance meter is also very good. Getting a hang of it. It only shows for your turret? Okay. For now, you try to get at least 10 deposits on a planet to get started with some data on the standard ores. And you just, like, take the average of the ores, or... What info do you take? You hate piracy, but the people in there are nice? No problem. We try to be pretty lenient about it. Obviously, there are certain orgs that, like, we know for a fact are going to be problems that we won't let people join from. But, like, if it's just a group of friends who do some bad stuff every once in a while, like... Yeah. Unless you lead the org. That's different. Difficulty in the module will change when you add your sub-modules. Right. Oh boy. This is I might go to a different rock. Don't tell me it's too big. That's just going to encourage me to stay here longer. But yeah, it does say high, and it feels like it might be more than high. If I get closer, does it transfer better? Even if I'm in that hazard zone? Come on, then. It's getting higher. It's working. This is what we call active mining. There we go, buddy. Come on. I can hear it. It's buckling under pressure. It's bubbling. Ah! No! Yes. Yes. Yes! We're in the green zone! Let's go! We made it! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Stay with me. You's good. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Rock. We're best friends. We're best fucking buddies. Oop. That was a bad bleep. I missed that. We got it, though. Okay, there you go. All right. Cool. What do we got here? Tons of inert material. We'll crack this one first. Why not? Oh yeah, see, that's way easier. Oh man, it's too much. I have too much power. Okay, okay. Alright. Sheesh. Okay. Cool. Oh, that's nice. There's a little indicator that tells you to switch modes when you're looking at these. Solid. What do we got here? Ooh, that's a lot of Hephaestonite. How far do you move away? Look at the freaking optimal range. Holy crap. You can really just be mining from way out here. Whoa, 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 whoa. God, I'm like traumatized by that, by this meter going up too high. When you're mining something real difficult and you tap the power and it flies up. Scary. Scary stuff. That being said, I like how active this is in comparison to salvage. Is space mining generally more profitable than surface mining? I think that answer is yet to be determined. I think it's really going to depend on the new refactor of commodities and resources, but I do think that generally space mining has been better in the past. Do I think this will go live on Friday? Maybe, yeah. They could drop this on Friday. I wouldn't be surprised. I always used to be so bad at mining while I was streaming because I couldn't help myself but watch chat. And I would never be able to keep track of where I was in terms of the power levels on the rock and just constantly explode. Mouse control wheel is quite touchy, yeah. It'd be nice to have that just be changeable by us. What do we have here? It's not telling me. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, the danger of losing fuel in atmosphere does make planetary mining not as interesting. I don't think... Wow. Are we still having problems with scanning rocks? Is that what's going on here? It's telling me how much of everything there is, but... the mining interface is not... weird. Everything else works. That's very strange. Captain Radix, thank you for the sub. Rockin' and rollin', huh? Rockin' stone, baby. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to do this one. I'm definitely not gonna be able to eyeball it or anything, so I guess we'll leave that one alone. Let's grab all the rest of this stuff. Shoot the rock? That old trick? You jerk? Come on, come on. Nah, I don't think so. Too bad. Whoa, did they update the VFX for extractions? No, I guess that looks mostly the same. Wapsturk's here, guys. Don't worry about it. I should be a little bit... Maybe I'll be just a little bit more careful about what I'm getting here. Oh, that's fine. Here we have Hephaestonite. Back there we have... What is it? Hephaestonite. Here we have... Wow, cargo's already very full. More Hephaestonite. Corundum. Wow. Yeah, being able to detach these bags will be really nice. Because I'm already almost full, and I haven't even mined an entire asteroid. Not having to go back to the station every time we do this is gonna make mining much more possible. This filled up so fast. Imagine if salvage went this quickly. That's it. You got like half that asteroid. I would like to test out the salvage bags, or the mining bags, though. I know you can't do anything with them, but just to give it a shot. Oh, I have to unlock. Dang it. Oh, I forgot there was a toggle now. How do you switch modes with this thing? Whoa! Oh, that's pretty nifty. One of those old float through the doors. B. Cool.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode on.
Open exterior, press to unlock.
Mining mode on.
Is there something now worth mining that isn't quant? Yes, the expectations right now are that all of the minerals are getting rebalanced so that they are more worth mining. Quant is extremely rare, and other things are worth more. Okay, so this is tractor mode. No, that is detach mode. That's tractor mode. Cool. Oh, different sound effects? Am I hearing different sound effects? Let's turn that up. Sounds a little bit different. Did I not unlock them? What was pressed to unlock? Was door unlock? Are they not the same thing? Let's try it again.
Extraction mode on. Mining mode on.
Okay, so that's not it. Are there any other buttons? Power off, press to lock. There are not enough buttons in this ship. Unlock ports. Is this a key binding I'm gonna have to figure out? God, it's a key bind. Of course it is. Okay. So I have to find port lock toggle Alt K. Is it right or left Alt? Right Alt? I think I just locked them again. Yep, there we go. Okay.
Mining mode on.
Whee! Detaching. There we go. So I have to lower it down. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. So they exist. Is it not slowing down, or I can't tell if it's slowing down or not? You can replace them with higher capacity Argo bags. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could store and transport these. I hope soon. I really do. Dang it. There we go. Put that in a cargo ship, take it back to the refinery where their prospectors are waiting, whack it in that prospector, and you can refine. So you have to have multiple prospectors in order to refine it, yeah? It's a bit of a workaround, but it's a lot. I can't wait until they've got the official support for this to work. Does Quantanium explode when you attach it? I don't know. We probably won't be able to test that for a while, considering I probably won't be mining Quantanium for a little while. Back to the station we go. Wow, we got some distance. Cannot be refined from the cargo ship. That will be fixed soon, hopefully. Yeah, I hope they can figure that out pretty soon. So, honestly, not super deep into an asteroid field, but we got some decent asteroid mining going. Let's go and turn this in. See what kind of refining options we have. Wow, this game is beautiful. I hope they also fix that with the air traffic control. They just like don't even say what they're supposed to say. Did 6 hours of this on Saturday. It was awesome. Yo, man, TFTI. I'm trying to join for some mining funds. Why can you not transport them? They just don't get recognized by the cargo grid or the services at space stations. They can't tell that you are carrying minerals in that thing. Okay, where? Why isn't this letting me?
Please proceed to assigned landing.
There we go. Crouch, somebody's asking how much profit you guys made. Okay, a little bit too fast. Dang it. Press the button so many times I don't know if it's up or down. Region locks? No region locks, Meister. Yeah, Corin, we're mining. I used to do a ton of mining, but I just got really bored with it the way they were doing it. Now with this refactor, I'm interested in learning how it is. I want to try it again, see if it's worth doing every week or something. Maybe it'll be good money.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Oh, Crouch, you haven't gotten your stuff back yet? Okay. Yeah, I like mining Mondays. That sounds like a good time. There is an indicator for the landing gear. I am, for those who are regulars here on my stream, you'll learn that I'm very terrible at taking prompts if I'm streaming. I'm a little bit better if I'm not streaming, but overall, my little ADHD brain has trouble focusing in on certain things at certain times, so it just forgets that that's important. So many ships, what's that like? I don't use any of them. I don't really use many ships. A lot of them are like referrals and stuff.
Back again, I see.
Not really things that I personally have wanted. But it's cool to have the choices. It really is. Alright. I don't know if they've changed this. They said they were updating refinery stuff in the monthly report, but I don't think it's in 3.19. Oh, this is new. Kaizen winnowing. Get a quote for that. So basically, you refine materials. You gotta balance out how much yield you're gonna get versus how much you're putting in, the processing time it takes, and the money it costs. So some options are a lot shorter, but take more money, and you get a decent yield. Some of them will be longer, taste less money, same amount of yield. Some of them are just straight out bad, no matter what. You get a bad yield, you're paying a decent amount of money, and it takes a while. So we're going to go with take more time, less money. I'm probably not going to end up coming back for this stuff, but this is our refinery order for the stuff we just did. So at some point, hopefully I'll return here and we can get an idea of how much money we made from that run, but that was like pretty short. It's like a really, really non-committal mining mission for like 20 minutes. Yeah, somebody said you could put the mole bags in the prospector. That's pretty nice. Time to set an alarm on my phone. I basically just wake up here and go, why was I here? Ah, yes, that's right. That's right, salvage. Or, mining. How much did I spend on the prospector? I think it was 2 million for the rental. Nah, it wasn't that much. It was 1 day rental, so I didn't even have 2 million. Probably, I don't know how much I spent. Processing was 24 hours, I think. But that wraps it up, folks. That is it for today. Crunchy Aonaran. Thank you so much for the follow and the Prime sub right there at the end. Thanks for supporting this stream. Thank everybody for coming by this stream. We had an amazing monthly update at the beginning. Got to do a lot of looking into the upcoming features with 320, 319, what's going on the rest of the year, and things are looking good. I'm excited to make the video for this. I'll have it out on the main channel. This one I'm streaming on by the end of the week. And we should be talking quite a bit about the economy in that one and how it's coming together. So hope you're excited for that. Episode 100 of the Launch Sequence podcast came out today. I can actually pull that up for you real quick. So I just released this one. It's not this. Okay. Sorry. So it's an interview with all different creators over the course of a little over an hour. We got Morphologist, Space Coder, Astrohistorian, Croncy, Salty Mike, Jorun, a lot of different people, and get some opinions on the direction of the game, where it's headed, how it's doing, what they're focusing on. So if you want to check that out, again, that's 100 episodes of the podcast, which is running on my second YouTube channel. And the podcast itself has some decent discussions on the other weeks, so I would consider subscribing and checking it out if you like the discussion. Besides that, though, I'll be streaming every day this week, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to drop by. We'll be doing some mining in my Discord server, so anybody who wants to join can come by. And I'm just looking forward to enjoying more Star Citizen this week. Getting back to regular work for me and Mrs. Tomato. Anyways, folks, I'm going to send you on to Croncy today. It looks like he's also doing some mining, so we can keep the rock melting energy going. But I'd like to thank everybody one more time for being here, for hanging out on the stream, for chatting, for kicking it. All you lurkers, I see you out there. I know you're there. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for coming and watching. It's always a joy. And I think we're in for a good patch cycle with 319. The first one in a while. Hopefully it stays stable. Hopefully PES still keeps working. But regardless, that's it for today, guys. So I'll catch you all later. Have a good week. And I'll see you tomorrow.